Good evening, everybody, and welcome to an impromptu podcast. It is Gaming After Dark Solo Edition. I'm your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. It's Noof Nukem in the room. What a day it has been. What a day. What a day. I don't normally jump on and do a whole lot of podcasts like this, but I just couldn't help myself. I've been stirring all day. I'm pretty sure you know exactly why that is. Appreciate you guys being here. Big shout out, Doggy Dog 420. What's up, Relic? How you doing? And Andy Cologne, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. James 176. Thanks, guys, for popping in. Greatly appreciate it. Wasn't sure if anybody would come out to listen, simply because obviously, like I said, I don't normally do a lot of these podcasts, kind of in the middle of nowhere. But hey, it is Friday night. I hope you guys are doing well and having fun. CSS Freelance, what is up? So, unless you've been living under a rock, Twitter's been pretty alive today. I woke up this morning, with reading some tweets and a few articles and different things. Well, I guess first of all, it was just kind of like an Xbox Live increase. Okay, Xbox Live Gold increase. That didn't bother me a whole lot. Stuff goes up. I'm quite aware about that. But it did just go up. I think barely over a year ago, it went up substantially. It was always cheaper to buy Xbox Live Gold than it was PlayStation Plus, right? So at least I remember. I think originally when I bought my first Xbox Live Gold, and correct me if I'm wrong, any of you guys, if you happen to be in Canada, I think I paid. I think it was like $39.99. That's pretty damn good for a whole year, right? And of course, Xbox was always ahead of its time. I mean, Xbox Live was, the service to beat for many, many years. Now I'm not 100% sure anymore because over the last few years, I've noticed it's crashed a lot more. We've had a lot more issues with party chat, different things like that. So I don't know. Has PlayStation really gained that much ground? It's hard to say. Dreadpool, what is happening, brother? How you doing? Jago Kukum, what is going on, brother? How are you tonight? Ron Hale's in the house. Audible Fart is here. Ashtray Gaming, James 176. Wow, good crowd already in here, guys. Hope everybody's doing good on this Friday night. Hopefully, I won't take up too much of your time. I don't intend to be here for 2 hours beating a dead horse, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a price increase, okay? And I have to explain my points. For those of you who are familiar with my podcast and my channel, you should pretty well know by now, guys, that I'm a physical game collector. I've always enjoyed buying games on disc. I've always liked collecting the games. I like the artwork, all that sort of stuff. I've always enjoyed going into stores, and I still pretty much do that today. My game collection is far less than perhaps the majority of you guys in this chat, simply because I go out and I buy my games. Now, whether I pay $80 or I get them on sale, I generally go out and buy physical copies. And yes, I'm quite aware a physical copy in this day and age is not what a physical copy was 15, 20 years ago. Now it's more or less just a disc-based license for the most part to just say that, hey, you have possession of this game and it will play in your console, that sort of stuff, right? So Midnight Monster, what is going on, dude? How you doing, man? Chief Trouble, what's going on? So it's part of that. But there's a few of us old fogies in the chat, like Jago Kukin here, who loves his physical collector's editions and different things like that. And I'm not against digital completely. I've bought my fair share of digital. I pick up the games with Live Gold a lot of the times. I get the PlayStation Plus games, and obviously where they're free. Or sometimes if the deal is really good, I'll go out and buy the game digitally, right? But I'm just afraid of where the market heads when right now the market is fairly versatile because we have lots of options. But when those options slowly disappear, and they are, believe it or not, they are, because for example, it used to be very easy to walk into any retailer and pretty much get almost any Xbox game that I wanted. It's not like that anymore. You know how many times I go to EB Games now to get a freaking game and they don't have it? Why is that? Because they carry probably 1/3 less copies in their store than PlayStation. And why is that? Was not only is PlayStation the market leader, but the thing is, they're not only the market leader, but what was the word? I lost my train of thought already. But the thing is, because of Xbox Game Pass, they know that a lot of people are just not buying the games in stores, so the retailers are actually stocking the shelves less with that. Mag, middle-aged game guy, what's up, brother? That was a great Tony Baloney video earlier. I enjoyed that, and it's glad to see that me and Tony feel at least a little bit on the same page there. That is good shit. Ashtray Gamer, what's up, brother? So in light of, like I said, I don't want to go too far out on a limb because I don't know how all this really is going to come down. Basically, what I'm reading, and anybody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the cost of Xbox Live Gold is not only just going to increase, it sounds like it's going to increase substantially. It's going to be to the point where the disparity between Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate are next to virtually unidentifiable. Like I said, to the average person, great. If you're already an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, well, you're already in the books. You know what I mean? You're already paying for your subscription. You're probably happy as a pig in shit right now, right? Great. But for those of us who have no intentions of getting Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and have been Xbox Live Gold subscribers for years, and we're hoping to continue on that trend, this comes as a big slap in the face. Rillick, you know what I'm saying? This comes as a big slap in the face. I mean, first of all, I don't play a ton of online games as it is, right? So, you know, to kind of get slapped with more and more and more, but it seems like we're getting less and less and less. Like Xbox Live Game Gold subscribers, I mean, really, what have they done for that service over the last while? Games with Gold itself, that's kind of gone downhill. We've all seen what happened with when Game Pass came out. Xbox Live Games with Gold went to fucking shit. So there you go. CSS Freelance says it's going to be $120 in the USA. That means it's nearly going to be doubled in Canada. Now, right now in Canada, guys, for those who aren't to know, I'm paying $69.99. Okay, 69. So that works out to like $5.84 Canadian per month. I go to the store and I buy the cards with the little scratch code. Why? Because I honestly don't fucking like putting my credit cards and shit into my consoles if I don't have to. Okay, that's simple. Why? For security reasons. Why? Because, you know, I just buy the card. It's a one-off. You scratch it, you put it in. You know, sometimes I know Xbox Live Gold has these great great sales every once in a while where you get it for 20 or 30% off kind of deal. But if this is true, this is a huge slap in the face. I am not, and I repeat, and mark this word and fucking screen cap this, I am not fucking paying nearly double for my Xbox Live games with Gold, Xbox Live Gold. I am not. There's not one game on this console, no matter even if it's Gears, that's going to make me worth paying that money. Look, I'm paying Gold. I'm paying PlayStation Plus. I paid for Nintendo Online. You know, I got fucking Netflix. I got to pay over $100 a month just to have the internet in my fucking house. This shit's starting to add up, man. It's getting crazy. You know, at this point, Xbox Live Gold at this point, guys, should almost be fucking free, or at least going down, not going up. They're giving us less. And again, and the big thing is, it's the paywall aspect. So on PlayStation, you can play Fortnite free. You can play the Call of Duty free. You can play a lot of these big games that are popular now. You can play them free on other platforms. You cannot on Xbox because there's a paywall. So even Rocket League, Call of Duty, Fortnite, you have to have at least a gold. So the lowest entry point is, say, if you got the 12-month gold, right? That's your lowest entry point right now to play online gaming on Xbox, right? So, yeah. So that's the thing. But so now you're going to double it up on me, who's an Xbox Live Gold member pretty much since the fucking day it came out. And you're going to double that for me. You're going to hurt me. You're going to make me pay more for what? I don't want Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I'm not interested. Why? People ask Noof Nukem, what is your hate? I don't have a hate on it. If you like subscriptions, you like to rent your games, go fucking for it. Knock your heart out. It's a great value. I'm not debating that. I am a physical game buyer. I like to go to the store and buy my games. Some people call me archaic. Some people call me old-fashioned. I'll fucking take that. Sure I am. I am old-fashioned because I never saw the problem with those options to begin with. Where did it become a problem all of a sudden to go to the store and buy a fucking game? Okay, I get it. If you're on a limited budget, I get it. If you've got a big family at home, you're trying to game share, I get it. There's a lot of great reasons to own Game Pass Ultimate. But I don't want subscriptions. I don't like the feeling of renting my fucking shit. Second of all, and the biggest thing, I got the money, guys. It ain't about the money. but I don't like the principle behind it. I don't like the fact, okay, that I got to pay a monthly fee, and I'm paying a monthly fee for what? For hundreds of games that one, I don't give a goddamn rat's ass about, and two, I'm not going to have the fucking time to play. I could buy every video game in the world right now. I got millions of dollars and have every game that's on the market. And guess what? I'd still play the same 3 or 4 games because I don't have the time. I don't know if the rest of you got time, but I sure as fucking don't have the time to do it. So there is my problem. So Microsoft wants to go out and hurt the gold user for what? So that they basically make us go, gold is 120 a year and Xbox Game Ultimate's 120 a year. I guess it makes sense to get the Ultimate. Bingo! It's exactly what they want you to do. They want us guys to go, oh, well, I'm better off getting gold. And I get it. They want more subscriptions because that's where they're putting their money. That's where they're putting their bucks. But it doesn't work for me. So if I'm taking it in the ass on this one, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. I'm telling you, I'm putting my foot down with these motherfuckers. And I don't care if it's Nintendo. I don't care if it's Sony. If the last fucking thing I got to do is take all of my fucking consoles to the recycling depot, I'll fucking do it. And I'll do a video for you guys just so you can hate me anyway. But I am fucking serious. I am getting so pissed with this shit. And here's the deal. And here's the other kicker. Call me a skepticism, right? Call me a skeptic. But I know what's going to happen. They're going to get another 4 or 5 million subscribers. They're going to keep adding shit to Game Pass because they have to, because that's how they keep you invested. But guess what happens when that happens? Same thing happens with Netflix. Netflix starts losing content, but they keep adding it with their own. But guess what's happening with Netflix? Price increase, price increase, price increase. Netflix has had how many price increases now? They've had more price increases in the last 2 years than I bet you they had in the first 5 or 6 that they were on the market. Oh, and it's like, well, we're bringing you more content. I get it. But you know, even with Netflix, I don't give a shit. I don't care a rat's ass about 90% of those fucking shows that they make. They're terrible. Half of them are crap. Half of their movies are fucking crap. I didn't buy Netflix to watch fucking some stupid Netflix show like Pick Your Nose with a fucking shovel. I didn't fucking do that. Yeah, they did again, right? Like, exactly. It's $15 a month now for Netflix. I went from fucking $7, I think it was, to 15. That's almost double, if over a double, right? I think it was 7 or maybe $8. But either which way, it's just about nearly doubled, and I haven't even had it that long. And the principle behind it is Netflix does it, everybody else is going to do it, and Xbox is fucking going to do it. And people think that Game Pass Ultimate is going to be a nice, affordable option to you. Well, wait till they buy another $5 billion in studios and they keep adding content left, right, and center. Somebody's going to fucking pay for it, right? But if I don't play it, if I don't use it, why do I got to pay for it? That's my question. If I don't watch it, you know what? Netflix, why did they do a 2-tiered system? We're going to have a 2-tiered system where you get to fucking pick the movies you want, and we'll take the rest of that shit off of there. You know what I'm saying? Dark Fishes, what's up, brother? How you doing? Stinking Corpse in the house. Michael's in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Ron Hale, way to go, Midway Monster. Yeah, baby. Yeah, we got a good crowd tonight. It's aight. What's going on? Isaiah, you too? What's happening, bro? You know, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't care what side of the Xbox fence you sit on right now. You still got to be a little bit peed about it. Now, if he said gold is going to go up $1 or $2, I get it. It costs money to maintain servers and to have the top-notch security and to have competent multiplayer. I get it. And that's why I've always paid for it. I never paid for Xbox Live Gold for the free games they give me. Never. Fuck, half of us were having games with gold, or sorry, half of us had Xbox Live Gold long before they ever gave away a free game. And y'all know why they gave away the free games. It was pressure because Sony, in order to get people into PlayStation Plus, they had to do something, right? It's pretty hard to go from an ecosystem where you're charging people $0 to play games online to then bringing out a new console and charging people to play online. It was a tough pill for PlayStation fans to swallow, but we knew it was coming. But they kept it reasonably priced, and they were giving out some pretty good games. I think it was 4 at the beginning. Joe Dunmo, what's going on? Toolman, what's going on, brother? Jesus, 28 people are in that. I thought I might hit 3 people in here. Holy shit, man. You know, so like I said, Microsoft is spending big dollars. We know that. But guess who's going to pay for it at the end of the day? Sure, you go up a couple of dollars, nobody blinks an eye. But, you know, when you're going to start doubling down, and that's the thing, the price changes got to be kept in check, too. It can't be just like, we got a monopoly, we got everybody into the ecosystem, let's just fucking drill everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm very skeptical. I just know where this goes. And you know where this leaves a guy like old Noof Nukem here? See, like I already told you, the games for the Xbox, the games at the retailer level are disappearing. Some of you might say, no, you can go to the store and get a game. Trust me. Yeah, maybe you can, but it's not as easy to get a lot of those games as it was a few years ago, back in the 360 when the fucking shelves were loaded. I've already seen less shelf space dedicated to Xbox. I've noticed that a lot of times, like I said, I've gone into EB Games to pick up a game, and guess what? I can't get the Xbox copy. But I got no problem to get a PlayStation copy, but I don't want the PlayStation one, but I can get one. Because why? Because the retailers are bringing in 1/3 of the games on Xbox because people are getting them through Game Pass. Fair enough. I can't understand the logic with it. Why have 20 games in your store if the potential to sell only 7 or 8 is there, right? It's not um but that's, like I said, I'm very skeptical because I know how this shit works. I know that's how everything works these days. They rope you in with the free shit. They get you in on the easy buy-in, right? That's the same on a lot of these games, these free-to-play games. Easy to get in, easy to get started. But once you're in the ecosystem, there's nothing free afterwards. They rope you in, they rope you in, they rope you in. They fucking, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the online buying shit either, man. I can't stand the fucking waiting and crap. I do from time to time, Ron, but I don't like the fact that one, my shit might get stolen on the way here. And two, like I said, that whole fucking, hey man, what is going on? AP Cool J, what's going on, man? Like I said, yeah, the biggest stinger right here, like AP said, it's really going to be to the new people that want to get gold. A new person who picks up an Xbox gets the gold membership, but perhaps only has interest in playing 3 or 4 games, and at the end of the day, probably could care less about Game Pass. Well, they're really getting nailed. Now, for me, I'm probably going to have to run down to the store and pick up another one of those subscription cards, right? Well, it's still $69.99. But the key is, I'm not going to buy like 50 of these fucking things and hang on to them for the next few years. So at some point, I'm going to walk into a store. I'm going to buy games with gold, even if it still exists. Because at some point in fucking time, I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel it altogether and just say, we're going to switch you to fuck over. That wouldn't fucking surprise me. Hell, fuck. You know why? Google just did it. I had, what's it, the Google Music Store, the Google Store, whatever the fuck it was, the Google Music Store on my phone. Had all these songs bought for it and shit. Right out of the fucking blue, it comes out and I get this notification. We're switching over to YouTube Music. Well, guess what? Yeah, my songs are still there, thank God, even though I couldn't fucking find them forever because they were hidden under some stupid ass menu. But now, basically, what they've done was they've taken Google Music, where I could just simply go into the store and buy a fucking song and put it on my thing. Nope, now they got it done like Spotify, which is kind of good and bad. The good part is, yeah, now I can listen to almost any song I want pretty much free. But they got all the ads and stuff stuck in there as well. And I can't even back out. Like before, I used to be able to listen to the music that I had on my Google Play Store. I could listen to it while I was on an app like Twitter or on an app like whatever. Now I can't. The moment I pause or I go out on my phone, it stops. And guess what? I subscribe to the premium model. I'm just getting so fucking tired of this shit, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just getting on my fucking nerves. Yeah, man. It's just. Yeah, so like for me right now, like I said, for now, I'm paying $70 for Xbox Live per year. That's again through the subscription card, not through the automatic renewal shit. Fucking don't trust that crap because every time you fucking set up your system, it's like they turn off the auto renewal or you turn it on. Next thing you know, you're getting dinged on your fucking cards and shit. And that's the thing. That's the thing I like about when you just do the one easy payment when you got a card and you just scratch it off. You don't have to worry about it coming out of your account every month. There's no bullshit. There's no like I got to make sure this much is in my account on the 15th or the 20th or the 30th. It's just one time, pop and drop, in, done, out, bingo, bango, bongo. It's done deal, baby. That's the way I like it. I like it fucking simple. I'd rather pay up front and not worry about the rest of the crap. The subscription and fucking shit coming out of the account constantly, that stuff drives me absolutely bonkers. I got enough of that crap right now with the bills. So I love Xbox dearly. This is why I'm being a little more critical right here. I know some of you guys are going to look at me differently probably after this. But I'm not lying when I say I'm sitting here looking at my Xbox consoles just a little bit differently than I did yesterday. Simply because right now, honestly, I don't trust Phil Spencer and I don't trust Satya Nadella. I don't trust where they're taking this company. It's all great if you're into the subscriptions and you're loving Game Pass, where you're probably loving life right now. But honestly, I'm just getting tired of people just fending him nonchalantly with any rhyme or reason. So what? in the next couple of years, they want to charge you fucking $50 a month and say that's the only way you're going to play Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, $50 a month. Are you going to do it? You going to complain, or are you going to sit there and chew the fucking Microsoft gumbo and say, well, you know, stuff's got to go up and we really like the games and they're giving us great value for the money. Fuck. You know what? $50 a month Game Pass would still probably be great value. I get it. It probably would be, but it's not for me. And it's not for everybody. That's the thing. They can't ignore the millions of people out there who feel the same way that I do. You know, just because it's the majority, just because, say, digital games sell 70 to 30 now, doesn't mean you forget where you come from and you forget the fans that got you here. I'm a diehard Xbox fan. I spend thousands a year on Xbox products. I think some of you guys know that, right? So this is what I'm saying. At some point in the store, we're already walking in. Best Buys used to be filled with games. Now I walk in, you know what I see? A small little shelf on the fucking wall, and I see an end cap litter with those fucking cards. Here's the game. Go home and download it. You know what? I hardly downloaded anything outside of indie games for my Switch. I couldn't even bring myself to buy, what was it? Wolfenstein. I wouldn't buy it for the Switch because it didn't come with the fucking cartridge. It came in a digital download. Wouldn't buy it. I refused. Any of those games that came in digital downloads, I did not buy the one of them. I refused. I didn't buy the Switch to fucking be downloading shit. Outside of, like I said, the indie games, because most of them don't come out on fucking cartridge anyway. You know what I mean? So that's where I am on this whole situation. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know all the logistics. I read the stuff from Jez Corden, and it sounds like it's 120 US for gold, if I'm correct. Am I correct, or am I wrong in this, guys, in the chat? Right? You want to get in here, Meg? Absolutely, brother. I'll send you the link, dude. Give me a sec here. There you go, guys. We'll get the middle-aged game guy in here. He can come on in. He's welcome anytime. All right, let me just send it over to you, Meg. Give me a sec here, brother. I got to jump in here. There, man. I'll send it in. It's just going to go to your message with you and Titan, but I'm going to pop you in here. All right, so check out the last message if you want to jump in, brother. You can definitely have your 2 cents worth on it. You know, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not necessarily right or wrong on this kind of thing. You know, like sometimes I exaggerate and I can jump the gun pretty quickly. You know, I can get worked up. You guys know my personality, but you know, Microsoft can't come out and preach consumerism. We're so for the consumer constantly, and then fucking turn around and slap us on the other side of the cheek. And that's what I feel they've done again. I was pissed off last year. If you guys remember, was it last year or the year before? I was pretty mad that one of my favorite stores was going into the Microsoft store at the West Edmonton Mall. You know why? Because I could go in and see all their fantastic new computers. You could go in and try out virtual reality. You could go in and mess with Xbox, and you could literally go in and buy an Xbox game. Guess what happened? Well, the store, I think, is closed down now. But before they closed the store down, all of the games weren't even in there. You couldn't buy an actual physical game at the store. It was all those damn cards. When I saw that one day, I nearly flipped out. I was fucking so mad. I was almost turning red. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? The one company that I trust, the one company I've invested in, the one company I actually give a rat shit about is slapping me in the face. Because I guess, according to some, I got to get with the fucking times. But this is what I'm saying. The times weren't bad 20 or 20 years ago, really. The way we consume games, was there anything wrong with that? I get it that people like to save money. But at the end of the day, let's look at the Blu-ray, for example. Let's look at the Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray mag, the invite was in the messages to you and Titan if you want to jump in, bro. But anyway, look at that, for example, the 4K Blu-rays, right? Anybody knows who has a 4K Blu-ray, and you should have one if you got an Xbox and you got a decent television. The quality is unprecedented. Nothing comes close to it, right? The music industry is a little bit more of an anomaly. I know they do stuff in the music industry, and I do get a lot of my stuff digitally. Why? Because it's nearly fucking impossible to go and buy a damn CD. There's hardly any CD players around. Like the vehicles alone don't have them. So this is what I'm saying. If you follow trends throughout society, you follow trends with vehicles and other things. Common sense will tell you they're phasing shit out, and they will, right? Like I said, at some point, the Xbox won't exist. You don't think so? Trust me, it will be that way. At some point, Microsoft is going to get tired of spending billions to make a console that doesn't make them any money. They're going to make money on Game Pass, which what it's going to mean, yeah, they'll sell you controllers up to yin and have a controller for you in the store. But I guarantee you in the next 20 years, maybe even before that, watch. Xbox will just be on TV. It'll be a pass on TV. That's there he is.
Yep.
Here. Oh, we got one half of the people in here. Here we go. But before I bring Megan on here, that's what I'm saying. And like for me, like I said, I still listen to CDs. I still buy them when I can fucking find the damn things. What I do is I bring my CD player out to my car, plug it into the audio jack, and play it. I know I'm weird. I'm archaic. I fucking get it. But I still like that. I like to collect. I like to be able to look at my collection. I like to be able to go back and find those albums and look at the artwork and the credits and different things. You know, and the digital stores, there's so much now where when it comes to digital and downloading that work like fucking shit because everything's dependent on your internet, audio crackling in and out, quality going up and down. See this all the times at movies. Go from watching a 4K movie when you're fucking streaming, and the next thing you know, it's about 480 and fucking shit like pouring out of the fucking 80s. Like, what the shit, man? You know, I can't stand that crap. But anyway, Magus took some time to come over, and this was totally unprepared and on.
Oh, yeah.
But he is here, and based on Tony Baloney's few words earlier, perhaps feels a little bit jaded that Microsoft would be daring enough to, you know, when they're trying to gain market share, to go out and basically slap a certain portion, if not most all of their fan base, right upside the face of the big old dildo and say, "You're going to take it one way or another." What do you think?
Yeah, you know, my biggest by the way, I'm just stopping by for a few minutes here. I just wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. Listen, I don't have my phone or anything with me, so I can't see the chat right now. It's charging upstairs. But anyways, Noof, I couldn't leave you hanging by yourself, brother. It was like you're in the ring, and I was like the WWF guy backstage just waiting to be like, oh my God, he's getting the shit kicked out of him with a fucking chair. I gotta get in there. Anyways, in all seriousness, I'm not happy about this situation, and I'll tell you why. I'm not happy about it because this is working against everything that they've been doing so right since December 17th, 2019. You know, when Phil walked out on the stage at the Game Awards, okay, and he announced the Series X, they showed the Hellblade 2 trailer, and from then, it was a steamroller of awesome pro-consumer content. There were pro-consumer moves. They were, you know, whether you agree with the Game Pass thing, like Noof, I know where you stand on the digital side of things, which you've been saying for the last 20 minutes, and I get it, man, and I respect it, and I have no problem with it. I would never ever say to you, be like, "Oh, dude, just get over here on the digital thing. Fuck that shit." Listen, if that's what you like to do, then that's what you like to do. Yeah. But the thing is, if you're a paying customer, you should have the option. Therefore, you should have the option to be able to purchase the games digitally and everything else, right? So, physically, excuse me. So anyway, besides that, the point is, what I'm trying to get at is that for a year and a half, besides the Halo Infinite reveal, which thank God they backpedaled on, and they took another, year and a half now that they're working on the game, and you know when the game comes out, it's going to be amazing, okay? Besides that, they've been doing everything right. Then, for whatever fuck-nut reason, they do this today. Like, who passed this? Like, who let this, like, who put this on someone's desk and said, yeah, that's a good idea. No one will say shit. Like, how the fuck did this get past, like, I don't know, whatever channels that these things go through? I mean, there's a corporation, right? So you know that it's going to go through a million channels. How did it get past someone's desk and someone, you know, they put it in front of them and then they just said, didn't anybody say, guys, this might not go over well?
Well, I tell you what happened. They looked at the fact there's 15 million Game Pass subscribers.
Well, they're saying it's about 20 million now.
20. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we know from the past that Xbox Live Gold members were easily over 50 million. So that's still that's still about 30 million people that potentially are not switched over yet. So they're looking at a large part of that audience thinking, oh, there's money there to be had. How do we get them? Well, let's basically take away their option. Let's basically give them column A and column B and make them the same price. But one is clearly better than the other, obviously, because it has all the games. But do you want that regardless, right?
Yes.
Like if you're okay with driving a 4-cylinder car, sure, you'd probably love to have that big 8-cylinder fucking Dodge Ram that's on in column B, but you can't afford the gas. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, like, I'm not going to speak on a personal level here because for me, I have Game Pass because you mentioned it a little bit earlier. I have a family and a lot of them use the digital games and a lot of them are playing the games that are on Game Pass. And so we game share in my own house and we share Game Pass in the house. And with that, bundled with it, with the Game Pass Ultimate, we're paying for the gold. So for me, it's a non-issue. But I'm not talking about me. This is not about me. This is not a selfish thing where I'm sitting there going, well, I'm fine, so fuck everybody else.
Yes.
That's not how it works in my mind. I'm not that kind of person.
No.
And so the way that I look at this is that this is actually new. If I'm understanding correctly, actually, I just looked it up, is that there's almost 90 million people on Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
90. And if you say that, well, some people are saying now, I mean, I'm not going to quote him, but I mean, I know Tim Dog was talking about it on RDX on Tuesday, saying that actually it was 20 million people on Game Pass. That still leaves a gap of about 70 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 70 million people that do not have Game Pass. Now, I see what they're trying to do on a corporate level, but strong-arming consumers in the middle of a fucking pandemic when a lot of people are not as lucky as me or some other people who still have their jobs out there and are still working. There's millions of people who lost their jobs. And I'm talking not the world. Let's just talk about North America, okay? Because let's face it, the majority of Xbox Live Gold members are in North America. Okay, United States, Canada, okay? And I mean, I'm not excluding Europe and, Australia and all those other places. Yes, I understand. But the majority of the Xbox gamers are North American. Yeah. So therefore, there are a lot of people in North America lost their jobs. Okay. And a lot of people are suffering. And a lot of people are on unemployment insurance right now. A lot of people are on, in Canada, Noof, you know about this, on CERB. Okay. They're on CERB and everything else. So, and then in the US, they got their own stimulus packages and everything else. That's not enough to live on. So when you start raising prices in the middle of this, my God, who the fuck thought of this? This is not the time. Do it.
And and didn't Microsoft just was it the 12-month gold membership that they recently took down?
They removed it so that you were forced to buy 6 and 6.
Oh,
and you see what I'm saying? So, it's actually worse. So what ends up happening, the reason why it's coming up to like $120, because that didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, wait a minute, that seems way too high.
Yeah.
Like almost double? Like that doesn't make any sense. But what they did was they removed the 12-month subscription, so you could no longer purchase the 12. Now, you remember when that happened? When they removed the 12-month thing, I think it happened in the late summer. Everybody was going, it's official, guys. Xbox Live Gold is going free. It's going to be free to everybody because they removed the 12-month system. Well, fuck me in the ass twice, because you know what they just did? They said, no. Y'all got it wrong. We removed the 12-month subscription so that we could fuck you twice with a 6-month subscription and then make you pay double by the end of it if you actually work it out. Randall Thor released a 14-minute video today shredding Microsoft's balls. And that's where I actually found out that's where I found out that what they do is that they charge you 6 and 6. And on the 6
Rand and Jez are calling up Microsoft, this shit stinks.
Mikey Barra fucking shredded him on Twitter. It was Randall Thor, Colt Eastwood, all of them. They fucking shredded them. So anyways, the point is that this is not fair for the people who just want to get gold. There's a lot of people out there who are just like you, who are not interested in Game Pass, but they want to play online. But the bigger thing is, and this is what I'm looking at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture to me is that there are kids out there, there are casuals, there are people who want to jump into the Xbox ecosystem, and you're cutting them off.
Yeah.
Now, my son plays Fortnite, free to play. Okay, but in order for him to play quote unquote free to play, I've got to pay for the fucking Xbox Live Gold for him because my wife and I game share. Now, you can't game share 3 ways. Okay. So we game share, my wife and I, with Game Pass Ultimate, which gives us the Xbox Live Gold for both of us, plus Game Pass. Okay. Now, my son has his own Xbox. Now, the only reason why he has his own Xbox, we just gave him one of the Xbox One S that we had lying around when we got the new console. So we're like, here, that's yours now. It's like a fucking hand-me-down console. So anyways, he loves it, and he's got his own little TV and everything else or whatever, and he's got a little room to play. But in order for him to play Fortnite, we had to fucking subscribe again.
Yeah.
So I'm paying double already in the house. Now you're raising the price, you motherfuckers. So now I'm paying not only 2 Game Passes, now I have to fucking pay for that extra, the extra charge on top of the Xbox Live Gold. It is fucking madness. Now, if you're trying to capture the casuals, this is where you're going to fail. And that's where you're going to fail. Because you know what? For the same price as an Xbox Series X or S, you can go get maybe not now, but at some point soon, you're going to be able to get that PS5 once they start showing up in stores and they have better stock. Why the fuck, or even the Nintendo Switch, why the fuck would you get an Xbox and have to pay to play Fortnite for an 8-year-old when you can have the PS5 for the same price and not pay fuck all? And be able to play Call of Duty Warzone, play Apex Legends, play fucking what's the soccer cars game? What the fuck is it called again? Rocket League. Okay. Sorry, I called it soccer cars. I know Crap Gamer calls it that. Jesus Christ. Don't fucking compare me. Anyways, Rocket League.
Yes.
Okay. And then what's the other fucking one there? Smite, but you know that Titan's not here, so I can't make fun of it. But anyways,
so many of them. I mean, Tanks, World of Tanks,
World of
Tanks. You got Warframe. There's literally about 60 or 70 games that are free to play, but with Xbox, you have to have the gold to access any of them.
Elder Scrolls Online is actually very popular, by the way.
A lot of kids right now, there's 2 games they're basically playing, the ones on Apex and Fortnite. So you think the average kid now is going out and buying an Xbox knowing, Mom, I got to get $60 just to get a card to play this game.
Right.
And now on top of it, if you say that next year they go to buy an Xbox, you're like, well, now you got to pay $120. So now the only way they're going to convince people to switch their mind is convince them that, we got all these games that we're going to give you to play, right?
Right. No,
that's fantastic. But outside of that, it's starting to look like a worse deal by the minute. Like we already got, like I said, the paywall for the free-to-play games where you can play them on everything else. PC guys playing everything and laughing at us for fucking years. They get gold for free.
Yep.
So it's the long-term gold subscribers are taking this from the ass. Even more so, the new subscribers taking it right up there. How is it free? How is it fair to them? And for me, I'm going to take it eventually because, again, I told you guys on Twitter, if you've been watching, I don't buy it with my card. I go to the store and get the little cards. So at some point, I'm going to walk into the store. I might go up now and buy an extra one just to at least hold me over for a while. But at some point, I'm either going to walk in the store and 2 things are going to happen. Either that card doesn't exist anymore. All I see is Xbox Game Ultimate cards, right? That's it.
Yeah.
To buy that. Or I see Xbox Live Gold and it's going to be like $150 Canadian. And there's no goddamn way. I don't care how much I don't have much your party chat and the community game nights. But if Microsoft thinks they're fucking getting that out of me when I'm barely willing to pay Nintendo $20 for their bullshit, then fuck it.
Yeah. See, that's a problem. And so, like I said, I'm not going anywhere out of the ecosystem. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, that's where my friends are. That's where I play. That's everything else, whatever. And I am already paying for the Game Pass Ultimate. But like I said, I'm looking at that bigger picture. I'm looking at people like you. I'm looking at the potential new customers that are trying to make, the more customers. And see, people wondering, you're like, well, why the fuck do you care about the customers? I do care about the customers. And I'll tell you why. For 2 reasons. One, because I actually care. And the second reason is because if those new customers don't come over and adopt the Xbox ecosystem, we won't get those big fucking Sony bangers, okay, that Sony gets. It doesn't have to be, the run-of-the-mill third-person action adventure, over-the-shoulder, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get all that, okay? But at the same time, those games are fucking fantastic, okay? So when I turn on my PS5, I feel like I hate to say this. Some people might actually be mad at me for saying this. I really feel like I'm getting a premium fucking experience. I really do. So I feel like, you got to pay full price for those fucking games. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. I get it. And it sucks because when I see Halo Infinite coming out later this year, I'm thinking to myself, I don't have to pay for it. I don't because Game Pass is now a household expense. It's no longer coming out of my pocket. Okay, it's just part of the bills now. So it just gets wrapped up in my bills like fucking heating, water, internet, mortgage, Game Pass. It's all fucking tied in, right? So like to me, I assume like Halo Infinite's free. Everything else coming out in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever years, it's all free in my mind. And that's wonderful. But by doing something like this, what you're doing is that you're like Oh, what it almost feels like you're strong arming something, and
Yes.
people do not like to be for. That's what I was trying to get at. Sorry, I was losing
Yeah,
my
I
thoughts
mean,
for a minute there. It
you know,
feels like you're
even
being strong armed into something you don't necessarily want to do,
yes,
and I don't like that feeling.
increases. I get increases. I get. I mean,
They
Xbox
happen.
Live's gone up a few times. I get it. It's kind of gone up marginally, which like you kind of brace yourself. Okay, I get it. I mean, look, the reason most of us have, at least I have gold, and I never. First of all, Microsoft charged you for gold right from pretty much day one. There was really no getting around it. Was no complaining about it. We just took it and went with it. Right? You wanted to play online games, you paid for the service, but what we got was a premium service at the time. It was better than anybody else had on the market for online gaming. They were the first to go with the party chats. They had some of the most reliable servers, faster download speeds, yada, yada, yada. There was a reason you paid for gold. Of course, like I said, the whole games with gold aspect, that was a little throw me down because Sony was giving away stuff. So Microsoft felt like, well, in order to make gold at least seem, like more attractive, we got to throw in something. And they weren't too bad for a while. It was kind of like almost neck and neck. Some months they were really good on Xbox, some months we were on
I
PlayStation.
played
Kind of went
some
back and forth,
magnificent games
right?
from Games with Gold.
Yeah,
Sleeping Dogs. I mean, I put in 50 hours into that game. There was a bunch of games in there that I can't
exactly.
think of them all off the top of my head, but man, there were some great games in there. But then when Game Pass and actually, I believe it was you, Noof, who
That
called
was
it.
me. I was the first,
And
probably
you were
the
saying
first guy that said, "Watch Games of Gold is going to tank after this," and
after
boy, did
Game
it
Pass
ever.
comes out. And you were 100% correct, because the minute that Game Pass came out, why the fuck would they give it away for free when they could throw those decent games into Game Pass instead?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And I mean, but you
And,
see,
and it does make sense. I mean, I don't necessarily hold it
no, I
against
get it. I get
I
it.
get it. There's a sense there too. Like, why give the gold crowd a fucking really good banger game? Because that one game itself, like, say if they gave you a decent version of Call of Duty, that might be enough just to entice someone to go over and pay for
Right.
fucking Game Pass, right?
Yep.
A couple 100,000 people. But if you're going to give it in gold and say it's that popular game, especially something with multiplayer that got a bit of legs to it, you'd be like, oh fuck, now we just lost people because they're just going to play this game for free.
Right. And you see, and that's the thing that I don't, I understand that whole aspect. Right. But the thing is, at the same time, though, is that if you take away, see what happened this month, by the way, excuse me. Sorry, I'm going to go off on another tangent here. I actually saw the Games with Gold news before I heard about this news.
Yeah.
So that's actually almost poetic in a way that I saw that, because I saw the Games with Gold and I went, whoa, motherfucker.
It was actually pretty good, right? Pretty good.
And I looked at it and I saw Gears 5. Okay. That's pretty remarkable. Then I saw the Indiana Jones game in there, which I thought was actually kind of cheeky, by the way, that they threw Indiana Jones in there. Because everybody else was talking, like, is Indiana Jones going to be exclusive to Xbox? Because now they own fucking ZeniMax and all this other shit, right? And then they throw, that's a fucking cheeky move by throwing the Indiana Jones in the Games of Gold. So I saw the Games of Gold and I'm like, wow, these are fucking great games. And I'm like, that's bizarre. And then 10 minutes later, I scroll through fucking Twitter and then I see that they raised the price of gold. And I'm like, well, now I understand why they threw in those premium titles. And I'm like, that is a fucking, like, honest to God, man, I'm sorry. That is a dirtbag fucking move. That is a dirtbag Sorry, I fucking hate Apple. Okay, I'll tell you right now.
They were basically thinking that, hey, if we throw a big set of tits, they were thinking if we throw a big set of tits in your face, you forget there's a dick trying to pound you in the ass.
Exactly. Thank you, Noof. That's the perfect Noofism to exactly how I'm feeling right now. But you know what? I fucking hate Apple. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you know what? You love you guys have it. You love it. Great. Good for you. I personally don't like them. Anyways, that is a dirtbag Apple move, what they just did. And they're like, oh, here's a bunch of great games. By the way, we just raised the price. And I couldn't understand it. Like, I saw those Games with Gold and I'm like, wait, whoa. And you know who I saw it from, funny enough? I saw it from Mooch. Actually, Mooch had posted. That's where I saw it. Mooch had actually posted he goes, decent Games with Gold this month. And he put the little eyeball fucking, picture on it, whatever. So I'm like, woo. And I'm like, that's bizarre. And then as I kept scrolling, then I'm like, whoa. What's all this negativity? What's going on? And then I saw the price raise. And actually, funny enough, when Mooch had posted that, he actually hadn't even seen that yet. So God knows what the fuck happened on Crossfire tonight. I don't even want to check it out. Jesus Christ.
No,
that's going to be a fucking crucifixion.
Look at the Crossfire. My good man, Iceman LMH drops $4.99 in the super chat. Microsoft pulled a dick move, guys. They got us good. Maybe we can fight with our wallets somehow. Well, you're absolutely right. That's the best way to fight is with your wallets. We know they're listening too. Then they got to be taking some backlash. I personally sent out a tweet tonight to Phil and Aaron and Matt Booty and said, if this is the kind of crap that you're going to do is basically force me to get something that I just don't want, I'm not cool with that. And I will honestly, I will leave this ecosystem completely if that's what it needs to be. They're not going to get my money if they're not going to respect my fucking money. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, they are listening, and I'll tell you why. All the big shots are talking about it and criticizing it. Now we're talking about big shots.
Yes.
The only one that I had, well, I'm not going to call it any names, but Jeff Grubb called him out. Mm-hmm. Mikey Barra, for fuck's sake, called him out. Like, can you imagine? Like, he probably still, like, he's, well, maybe not now because of the pandemic, but I mean, he's good friends with these guys. They hang out. They're still friends and everything. Mikey Barra called them out. Like I said, Jeff Grubb called them out. There was a few others, like I said before, Randall Thor, Colt Eastwood, those guys called them out. Windows Central fucking called them out. Jez Corden, they called them out. By the way, Jez, you fucking blocked me on Twitter. What the hell did I do to you? I never. I think it was by accident. I was talking to somebody else. They're like, "Oh, it was an accident." But apparently, Jez has got me blocked on Twitter, and I've never even spoken to the guy. I've done 3 podcasts with Randall Thor, but I've never even spoken to Jez. And Rand and I like talk, and here and there, and like I'm like, why does Jez have me blocked? And anyways, apparently it was an accident. But anyways, the point is they've all called it out, and if they've called it out, you know that they're listening. Now, the thing is, I know as a fact that we all know as a fact that Phil is actually friends with Rand. They talk and they play games together, they whatever else. And for Rand to release a 14-minute video today calling them out, you fucking know they know. But the problem is now, how do you no, see, here's the bigger question. Never mind what's already happened. We already know what's happened. How do you backpedal? Now, I want to ask you this, Noof, because I mean, it's just you and I now, dude. How do you backpedal from this and make this right? How, like, what would you do?
It's tough. But just before I answer that, Ashtray sent me the disclaimer from Microsoft and what's going on. So thanks, Ashtray. I did read this earlier, but he sent it to me through DM. What does it mean for you? It says, if you're an existing online 12-month or 6-month Xbox Live Gold member, there's no price change. So that means for me right now, personally, there is no price change.
Yeah, I read that.
As I said, that's if you're on the auto renewals. You're paying through your debit card, right? It's just going to renew at the current price. So I don't really apply here. So essentially, every time I go out and get a card, I'm basically a new user to them, essentially.
Exactly.
The price of a 1-month gold membership is increasing $1 United States, and the price of a 3-month membership is increasing $5 USD, or the equivalent amount in your local market. If you'd like to upgrade your gold membership to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, your remaining gold time will convert directly to Ultimate up to 36 months. For example, if you have 11 months of Xbox Live Gold now and you upgrade to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, those 11 months convert to 11 months of Ultimate and no additional cost. So perhaps at the end of the day, perhaps it's not as bad as it sounds. I don't know. But either which way, the moment I walk into that store and I can't find my gold card to buy, or I see the big price jump on the card and it says from $69.99 to like $149.99. Dude, I'm going to make a video that's going to end fucking videos, let me tell you.
Well, see, here's the thing. You just said it yourself. You're a new member every time you renew because you don't have a recurring charge because you don't have a credit card on the system, right? So therefore, you're not in their system, so to speak, right? So basically, you are just whatever, you're just a rando just fucking plugging in numbers and then you get that thing. So you are not in their system. So yes, absolutely, when you run out of whatever, what do you have right now? How much do you have left on your do you know
July?
Okay, so July. So starting August, you're paying the bigger price. So like at that point, you're gonna have to make a decision. Is this something you want to do moving forward, or you're gonna walk away from the ecosystem? I don't know. I'm just like I said. I know,
but it's a great question. It's a great question. It's one that I have to honestly contemplate. And people might say that's a bit nutty. Perhaps it is that you're willing to give up all your Xbox stuff because you don't like whatever. But again, it's about moral for me. It's about morals. It's about principles. It's where I stand. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the way it is for me. It's about people always say about options. Well, you're taking away my fucking options. That's the thing.
That's
everybody that loves Game Pass, everybody that loves the digital content, everybody blah blah blah. I get it. You're totally right. I've never said you're wrong. They're giving you guys options up the asshole. But for me, as the old traditional gamer, they keep taking away.
Who
People
still
say
pay, by the
options
way?
are good. Huh? Sorry?
Who still pay, by the way?
Yeah, who still pay?
You're a paying customer.
Paying
The problem is, as a paying customer, they're alienating a certain demographic. And I understand how things move forward. I get it. And you get it, I get it, whatever. Everything moves to the digital, whatever. I haven't bought a CD in 20 fucking years.
So I want to know from you guys, and I'll ask you, Meg. So eventually, because I think it's coming, we know the day is coming. When the day comes that the consoles no longer exist, and I definitely see it coming.
Yes.
I think it's going to be an app in your fucking television, and you're just going to stick the controller in. That's it.
That's correct.
Where does people stand then? Does the console ecosystem still matter to everybody in this chat when that day comes, or do you think you're just going to game no matter what? I respect your answer either way, but I like where we're at. I don't necessarily like where we're going. And look, I'm not sitting here either and saying that Sony hasn't fucking done their share of seedy shit, because they certainly fucking have, right? Nintendo gets away with selling the most underpowered console, the worst on fucking line, and the same goddamn games over and over and over again, and still apparently winning MPDs. Oh, by the way, if you didn't catch that, I got a problem with this. Walmart's in fucking Canada won't sell your fucking Series X or PS5 in their store because it creates too much traffic and it's a COVID thing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But you can sell Nintendo Switches in your fucking store. How does that make sense? Nintendo apparently, isn't it the number one selling system? So why have you got Switch and you don't have Xbox? I'm calling bullshit somewhere here.
I called that bullshit from the beginning.
What is this fucking bullshit? Yeah, I get it the first launch week, and you know what? All you need is to hire an extra staff on the floor, fucking gate the goddamn thing, problem solved. But no fucking, you can have the games and the controllers, but no consoles in your store. And we wonder why Nintendo's winning NPDs. Well, yeah, it's pretty simple. When a person walks into the fucking store and they can't find an Xbox or a PlayStation because all they got is Switches, duh. Like, come on, man. Like,
well,
drive me nuts.
The reason why, and I called this from the beginning, and I know it was a controversial thing for me to say, and some people didn't like what I said, but I don't give a fuck because I said it anyway, is that I called it all the way back in April, is that the reason why they did not sell in the stores when they finally released, by the way. I was calling this stuff back in April about different stuff, but it was all tied in to the launch of these new consoles. I said they're going to use COVID as an excuse to mask the fact that they don't have the numbers to meet the demand. And I called that from the beginning. And the first company I called out was Sony. And I said, Sony, this is back in September. And I said, you watch that Sony's going to use, and I fucking said this. I don't know if it definitely wasn't on your show because you would remember this. I think it was on Boom Show. And I said, you watch that Sony's going to use COVID-19 as a fucking excuse. And I'm not saying COVID-19 is like I'm not taking it lightly. Okay, at all. I take it very, very fucking seriously. I work in a long-term care facility, okay? I've been there for over a decade now, and trust me, I take it very fucking seriously. But what I was getting at is that I was saying that I watch that Sony's going to use COVID-19 as a fucking scapegoat for not having enough consoles for fucking demand. And they're going to say, oh, well, we don't want to have them in the stores because it's safer. So we're going to have it digital only. So you pick it up, curbside pickup. So it's safer, blah, 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 blah. But here's the funny part. Curbside pickup and digital sales, you can't actually see what the store has in stock.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what they were able to do is hide behind a digital mask of COVID-19, no pun intended, a fucking digital mask behind COVID-19 to hide the fact that Sony did not want to show weakness. Okay, that's a Japanese thing. They do not like to show weakness in business. And I understand that. I understand that fucking that situation. Now, that's something that they do. And they did not want to show weakness by saying, oh, we don't have enough. Okay, now Nintendo doesn't give a fuck because to me, Nintendo's a toy company. They're basically like, we're going to short supply. Like when a Nintendo product comes out, they short supply you on purpose to create more buzz and demand and whatever. And that's Nintendo shtick.
Yeah.
Okay, they've always done it. Dude, they've been doing that since fucking 1988. Okay, so and it works for them. Great. But Sony used the COVID-19 thing to start as a mask for the fact that they did not have enough fucking consoles and everything else. And you can't keep an eye on digital stock because you can't, because it's all imaginary. It's all fucking numbers that you can't see. It's not like I walk in a store and see 100 boxes. And those 100 boxes leave. You can't see shit in the digital world. So they were able to hide behind it. Microsoft started doing the same thing. But isn't it funny, just like you said, Noof, isn't it funny that you couldn't buy a console in store because of fucking COVID-19, but they had fucking 200 DualSense 5s sitting on the shelves?
Yes, exactly.
So you could go play the fucking accessories and the controller.
Explain that to me. What we're all going to go home and stick it on vibrate and put it up our ass for a fucking hour, dreaming about the PlayStation 5 we can't get.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, you got to be fucking a special. You got to be a special level of stupid to not fucking see the scam here, right? Yeah. And so that was the scam from the beginning when it came to that whole situation. So yeah, they did that on purpose.
But anyways, controllers. Everybody got a controller sitting at home and no console. Well,
actually, a lot of guys.
I heard people. Yeah, I got this PlayStation controller. Just wait until I get. Either which way, they'll get an extra sale because we know that's where the money is, right?
Staring at it. It's fucking madness. Oh, by the way, dude, on a whole separate note, dude.
Yes.
I saw that you were in the market for a PS5. If you fucking got a hold of me sooner, just not even 2 days ago. Now, I already got my PS5. You already know about that.
That's all right. I'll get one eventually because right now I'm tight on cash.
He's called me. Yeah. I've been on the waiting list for like, I don't know, 4 months, 3 months, whatever the hell it was on the priority list. They fucking called me and they said they had 3 consoles available for me to purchase.
Nice.
And I'm like, if you fucking, all I could think about all day today was like, if fucking Noof told me I would have bought one, I would have fucking sent it to you. Would have cost me $10 to send it across the.
All right. Well, if it happens again, I'll fucking buy it off you. Simple as that.
Well, I would have bought it. Like, but the guy said, I'm like, what do you got? And the guy's like, I got everything you want. I got 2 digitals and one disc version. And I'm like, and he goes,
definitely don't get me the digital one.
Well, yeah, definitely not for you. Yeah. So, but he had a disc one too. And I'm like, fuck, man. And then I saw your little, you had a little thing on Twitter today. By the way, hold on. Before we carry on with this, Chef Trouble, if you're still listening, can you bring me more wine? Because I don't have my cell phone. Sorry. Chef Trouble's my wife, by the way. She's upstairs listening to this.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she's listening to this.
I got a nice super chat here. If you don't have your phone next to you, I was going to get you to read this one, but this one opens my eyes, and this is the scary part here. Marvin Ramos, thank you, Marvin. Drops $5 in the super chat. Now listen to this. I purchased a 12-month code from Walmart 1 month ago. When I put in the code, it automatically converted it to 4 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Wow.
Now that's some shit that if that happens to me, oh my God.
So you see now what they did discontinue the 12-month subscription service. Yeah. Sorry, like being able to purchase 12 months at a time. So they automatically converted it to the fucking Game Pass Ultimate? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. They give like the equivalent, right? So they took equivalent money and give him 4 months of Ultimate, which perhaps he might have been happy. But for me, I would have been like, what the living fuck?
Why would you be happy, Noof? Because then you still, let's say you have Game Pass and you got Xbox Live Gold for 4 months. What are you going to do for the other 8 months that you just paid for?
Exactly.
So in 4 months from now, you're going to have to fucking go back out and buy something else. And now at this rate, you're going to have to buy it at the more expensive price. This is Apple tactics, folks.
I'd definitely be doing a video on that shit, let me tell you. Better fucking not. Oh, my God. Yeah, like Brian Buselli is in the chat. What's going on, man? Yeah, this conversation, like somebody's saying, is it a Phil thing or corporate? Look, nothing ever happens by one guy. One guy doesn't wake up at Microsoft and Phil goes, fuck tomorrow, I'm just going to up the gold price. No. I mean, obviously, when they did the major acquisition of ZeniMax and a lot of the acquisitions, they're spending a lot of money. We get that. And they're not just spending it out of their own pocket. Obviously, the fans at some point in time, we're the ones got to pay for these acquisitions and all these games. There's no question about it. It's just how you go. It's not what you do, it's how you go about it right here.
Yeah.
And of course, it had to be a corporate boardroom. Like, and again, and I think, Meg, we're talking about it. They see the numbers on the wall. They see there's still a very large untapped portion of gold people out there. And they're thinking, how can we get them over? Right now, we probably haven't convinced everyone. Like, people that want Game Pass are already on it and loving it. Great. But how do you convert the other people? Now, it's almost like if you can't bring them in on their own accord, we're basically going to choke you in here. We're going to basically make the option not very attractive for your old method is the way it is, right?
Right. And see, you know, the thing is, the way I look at this now is that this is upsetting to me because all they needed to practice was patience. Because as of right now, yes, you just said it. You've got 90 million Xbox Live Gold members, and you've got 20 million Game Pass subscribers. That leaves you that gap of 70 million. Okay. And some asshole is sitting there going, how do we get that 70 million over? But the problem is this. Now you've jaded people. Yes. Okay. So now you've scared them off. Thank you. By the way, Chef Trouble just showed up with wine, so I'm very happy.
Where's my wine, Chef?
Yeah.
That Tony Baloney's got the wine on tap, that guy.
Yeah, and so anyways, the thing is this. You don't have anything super enticing games right now to get those 70 million people over there. Now, I can understand this is where the patience comes in. The patience comes in when you start releasing Elder Scrolls 6, when you start releasing Starfield, when you start releasing Wolfenstein 3, and you start releasing Indiana Jones and Fable and Gear 6 or whatever the fuck you're releasing, right? Mm-hmm. That's when all those people even more people start coming over. Okay. And so they had everything, they had all their ducks in a row. So all the ducks in a row were going, okay, listen, we got 20 million people right now. That's fucking remarkable. You got to admit that's remarkable. Mm-hmm. So now you've got all these people in there right now. And then you're saying, well, as soon as they start releasing those big bangers, more people are going to come over. Because why pay $80 for it? I'm just talking about like from a casual consumer point of view, or people who are just trying to save cash or whatever. Okay. Say, why pay $80 for a fucking game when I can get them all in there? And then, you know, we hear the rumors about Ubisoft going in there and everything else, right? This is more and more enticing by the minute.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. But as of right now, what are they releasing in there? Yeah, okay, we got the Medium coming up next week. But I mean, besides the Medium and Hivebusters, which was fucking phenomenal, by the way, that was actually the best thing in Game Pass I've played in probably 7 months. Mm. But I still paid for 7 months.
Yeah.
And all I played was Hivebusters.
Well, you know what honestly, now that I think about what Microsoft is basically doing here is taking a page out of the cable company's book, right? Because cable companies back in the day, they just had one package. You took it or leave it.
Rogers, right?
Yeah. So what they do now is they put everything in these little packages for you. And how they do it is they always choke you out. They put a couple of good channels in. They put the rest of pretty much crap. So you're going to spend, you know, $15 for, say, the subscription package to get that one channel you want. The rest you could give a shit about. And the funny thing is they'll go like, well, you can get our ultimate plan for $220 a month. If you pay $120, you just basically get like 10 fucking channels. This is hardly worth the while. Like, seriously, you know that you're getting way more for your $200. But at the end of the day, say your budget for cable is $120, right? So that $200, yeah, you're going to get all the channels, but it makes no sense to you. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Like for me, I don't want to get the sports channels. You know why? Because I got to take the whole kit and caboodle for the $15 Canadian with cable, and I only watch fucking Sportsnet West. I used to watch TSN, but they fucking suck. They don't have the NHL anymore, so they can kiss my ass. So I basically just watch Sportsnet West, right? Yeah. That's it. And I'm like, I can't fucking justify Sportsnet West to watch just the Edmonton Oilers because I basically don't watch a lot of NHL unless it's my Oilers, and I don't even know what the score is, so I wonder if Toronto's beating them tonight. But you know what I'm saying, right? So it seems like Microsoft's kind of doing that thing where they're like, there's still more than you want to afford, but they're trying to make that package very attractive. It's kind of like you're either going to go all in or the other package is just going to suck for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and see, that's a gamble that a lot of people are not willing to pay. Like, why? Like, what is this, a fucking casino?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to drop that money down and say, okay, well, I might get this, I might get that. And like, maybe you're not happy with the final product. Like, I would rather have the option to be able to pay whatever price, whether it's full price or whether it's a subscription price, and then be able to, pick and choose what I want to be able to purchase. And anyways, but I'm just getting off topic there. Sorry, I was thinking about the cable thing because that's why I got out of cable entirely. I don't even have Rogers anymore. I don't have Bell anymore. The only thing I have is Rogers Internet because I have the whatever the fuck it's called, the Fire Internet, whatever. I have the fiber optic internet. Yeah. Dude, by the way, unrelated.
Titans in the chat. People want him to come out. I told him he's welcome. The link is in our fucking DM. So if he wants to jump in, he can. If not, he can always save his 2 cents worth till next Tuesday. But I don't want the whole show to revolve around this all next Tuesday. We might touch on it real quickly, but that's why I really wanted to get out and kind of do this tonight, just because. I'm fired up. I got up this morning. I was in a bad fucking mood all day because of this shit. And I come home and it's like, I can't just keep going back and forth on Twitter. I just got to get this off my chest, whether one person comes out and listens or fuck apparently 50 odd people out here. Like, holy shit. Crazy. Thank you guys. That's nuts. Sathius, what's up, Mar? Let's go. What's going on? Sean Carpenter, Z Black Rider. Man, the fucking crowd is out here tonight. Man,
crazy, eh?
Crazy on a Friday night. I thought nobody'd be here on a Friday night. Damn.
Well, I saw your notification pop up. I go, what the fuck's Noof doing? And I go, is that a video? And then I looked in, and then I start seeing all the usual suspects. Joe Dunmore, by the way, showed up in the chat. Everybody showed up in the chat, and I'm like, I want to get on this now. And my wife looks at me. She goes, get on that fucking podcast right now. So anyway, so she came downstairs, by the way. She came down because I called her out live on the air. I'm like, yeah, honey, can you get me some more wine? She comes down, she pours me a glass of wine, and she goes, I could listen to this shit all night. And I was just like, yes. So anyway, yeah, good times. But yeah.
Well, anyways, if Microsoft wants to make this really attractive for people, they need to start saying some big words too. Exclusivity. So if we're gonna eventually pay for your ZeniMax fucking deal, then make sure all those goddamn games that are coming out are exclusive to Xbox. I don't want to see that fucking shit on another competitor. As selfish as that fucking sounds, I'm paying for Xbox. I'm paying for content to be on Xbox. So keep that shit off the competitor, and then maybe I'll be like, you know what? Now you need to get Xbox, and then people might also be like, fuck yeah, we're going to have to get that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate motherfucking thing because these games are only on Xbox or PC.
Right. And so you're absolutely right. I'm going to piggyback right off of what you just said there. And the bigger thing is, if you think about it, if they start releasing those games in, let's say, multi-platform games, what the fuck is the point of even getting into the ecosystem at all? So now you've given multiple reasons not to invest in the ecosystem. Right. But if you make those games exclusive, for example, Elder Scrolls 6, it better be exclusive now because now you're paying. Now you're charging premium prices to stay on their service. What's it called? Indiana Jones. That better be fucking Xbox exclusive. And that does not make you selfish because let me tell you something. When they announced Miles Morales, did anybody in the media or the gaming community say, well, is it coming to Xbox? No, because you fucking damn well know that if Sony announces something, guess where it's going to end up?
Yes.
Only on the fucking PlayStation. It is not showing up on the fucking Xbox. It is not showing up on the PC. It is definitely not showing up on the Switch.
Yeah. And you know what
I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
It's obvious.
If I'm going to start investing, say $15 Canadian, whatever it's going to be an Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate member, right? Yeah. So I'm finally going to give in and say, fuck it, Microsoft, you're going to get my money. I'm going to go into this ecosystem. Then why put those games on PlayStation? Because if I'm already arguing or wrestling with this option, then if you're going to put your biggest and brightest games, say the next Elder Scrolls on PlayStation, why wouldn't I just go over there and say, fuck Xbox altogether and buy the PlayStation?
Well, exactly. And so you remember what we were talking about? I think it was about a month before the consoles even released. What did we fucking say? when we were looking at it, we're saying, okay, $500 for the PS5, $500 for the Series X. Okay, there's your two consoles. Okay, there's your price. Then when you leave the store, this is the argument that I had a couple of months ago. When I leave the store with a PS5, let's say, theoretically speaking, you walk out with 2 or 3 titles. Well, in fact, at $80 Canadian a piece, you're looking at $740 because now I had to, buy these games for full price or whatever. But if you're buying Xbox and then you get the Game Pass, you're not paying shit. You're paying $15, so you're paying $515. Well, guess what? They didn't launch with anything. So therefore, and I understand why. Halo did not fucking make it, whatever else. It's coming out, fall 2021. Great, wonderful. But we're not talking about fall 2021. We're talking about now. And so we're talking about right fucking now. Well, 2 months ago, anyways. And so, people were going to pay that. But now, on top of this, you're going to charge a premium, or at least a premium for Xbox Live Gold for the people who aren't in the know or whatever. And they're going to look at that and they go, wait a minute. Why am I going to pay $120 for my kid? Kid. I'm not talking about like an actual, gamer. Let's talk about a casual kid who wants to play fucking Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone or Apex Legends or fucking the Rocket League. Yes, I got the name right. So Rocket League. Shout out to Ash and Luca, by the way. She's in the chat. I just saw her.
Yeah,
Ash and Luca,
epic rant on when she's coming in, not only here but dropping a fucking super chat. New dude. Like I told you, cucks. The dangers of always online, digital only.
Oh, cucks! Hey, wow. Ash and Luca's on fire. Everybody's on fire today. So, anyways, the point is this: that if I buy two $500 consoles, a $500 PS5 and a $500 Series X, and let's say my kid only wants to play those games I just mentioned. Well, guess what? Now we just reversed that situation. So whereas before, when you're going to buy a PS5 and 3 games and it's going to cost you $740, okay, or it's going to cost you $515 for the Series X for an actual gamer, a casual is now going to look at that situation and say, wow, the fucking PS5 cost me $500 and only $500. But if I want to get the Series X for my son to play those 3 games or my kid to play those 3 games, it now costs me $620. You see the reversal of roles there, and that's the fucking iron. It's almost it's fucking hilarious, and it's the irony of it is unbelievable that nobody caught this at the appropriate time. This is not the time, and this is where something that Rand said, by the way. Rand said this earlier today, is that in the middle of a fucking pandemic, and I mentioned this earlier, like an hour, fucking 40 minutes ago, in the middle of a pandemic where people are suffering financially, mentally, emotionally, all this other stuff, you decide to raise the fucking prices in the middle of a pandemic? Can't you wait? Can't you wait for an economic boom once everybody's got a vaccine?
People can't even get the fucking consoles to make everything that matters worse. Like people still out there like, man, I can't get an Xbox. You're like, yeah, but we're going to raise the prices.
Right, you're going to raise the fucking prices? And wait till the roaring 20s start, okay? Wait till like everybody gets a vaccine, okay? Everybody's out fucking French kissing each other and everybody's fucking everybody because, everybody's been locked up forever and this and that. And it becomes the roaring 20s. All the bars are filled. The nightclubs are filled. People are throwing money like fucking confetti. Then you raise the price. You don't raise the price before. Like, I almost want to laugh. You do not raise the price before that shit happens. People are still in really hard times right now. And people are really fucking sensitive right now. Okay. And like to do this kind of thing. And like I said, it doesn't affect me personally. I am trying to reflect the frustrations of other people who are invested or trying to invest in this ecosystem. That's what I'm trying to. I am representing those people. Like King David said it actually 2 weeks ago. Yes. Shout out to King David, by the way. Love that dude. He was talking about Cyberpunk. And he said, Cyberpunk runs just fine for me. No problems, no issues, no bugs, no crashes, no whatever. And he said, but my problem with Cyberpunk is not because I'm having a good time. Or not that he's having a good time. Sorry, he's not playing it. He's not playing it till next year. But he's saying, what he was saying is that he's like, it's not because I can play it without any flaws. He goes, I am trying to represent the person who's getting the short end of the stick, which are the Xbox One owners and the PS4 owners. And he goes, and there are tens of millions of those people out there. And he goes, it's like walking by the kid that's getting bullied and you just keep walking because you're fine, right? But that kid's getting his ass beat. He goes, no, that's where you have to go over there and you got to help that kid, right? That's the situation. Yeah. This is the same thing. It doesn't affect me personally. And but there's other people out there that it is affecting, and that's not fair to them.
Totally. And before we bring in the man and brings the comment back to sense, because he is in the fucking room. Just before he does that, I got to address Ice Cold in chat. So, wow, Game Pass is the best deal in gaming history. If Sony did this, nobody you guys would be on a rant spree. No, I disagree there. I think, honestly, if Sony was doing the same thing, we have to call them out too, and I'm pretty sure the Xbox guys would be the first to point the finger at them. And nobody's arguing with you that Game Pass Ultimate is a great deal. That's not the question here. This isn't about Game Pass Ultimate. That price was set. People have already accepted what it is, and people are already subscribed to it if they want. The question here, and the thing here is how they're treating the gold players. Not the Game Pass Ultimate. It's how they're treating the gold players who are still the largest contingent of Xbox players because they're just playing online multiplayer. They're don't really care about the 100+ fucking games you can get, with the service. That's what we're talking about here. You have to address the direct issue. Nobody's debating Game Pass Ultimate. It's fucking fire. Amazing games, keeps getting better. That's great. We're talking about the gold and how they're treating a various contingent, especially new people coming into Xbox. Boy, they've got a serious choice to make here. But anyway, Titan, bring that comment back to sense. What do you think of all this nonsense, man? You think we're just all, a bunch of hot windbags here going off about nothing, or you think there's a little bit of fire in this fire pit here?
Well, I think I can officially get voted out of the community here tonight. Yeah, I've read it all today, for all kinds of stuff from, when I found out about this news, and I read all kinds of stuff from, hate, blatant hate to legitimate issues, and you name everything in between, right? So I'm still kind of soaking it in. Now, the thing is, there is a person getting shafted, right? However, it's not me, and it's not the greater number of gamers, right? Like, Noof, you're getting shafted, right? There are people that are getting screwed by this. Physical owners, they're getting shafted. And Noof's kind of getting double shafted here. So I gotta come to Xbox's defense.
Roasted, is he?
I gotta come to Xbox's defense because I know this fucking hurts Noof's feelings to the core. All right, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it to me, it's being blown a little bit out of proportion, like anything with Xbox always is, because the lot of gamers are in no way affected. They even have a grandfather system, right? If you're part of the old deal and you got the what do you call it, the instant renewal, you're grandfathered in, right? You're a part of the system. And I do like that. I like they do that because, all these cell phone companies, you see, hey, deals for our new customers, or Comcast will do it all the time. Deals for our new customers. Well, what about the goddamn customers that have been with you all this time?
Right.
And it's weird because Noof is one of those customers, yet he's still getting shafted. It's just,
That's King Blue in the chat. Two in the stink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, Titan, you actually nailed it. And that's what my semi-drunk ass has been trying to say this entire time, is that's basically what's going on. It's taking apart. It's basically singling out an entire demographic of people who are paying customers. And that is insanity. When you're a corporation trying to make, what is the point of a corporation? The point of a corporation is trying to make money, right? They're trying to make money, to generate things, to move forward, to make what? More money. Okay. By alienating a certain demographic, you are in danger. I'm not saying it's not necessarily going to damage it, but you are in danger, okay, of losing those customers. That's where I want to know whose plate did this cross and said, yeah, that's cool. Like, did fucking Donnie D come back?
My thing is the hardcore gamers are not affected by this, and
they're not.
Everyone except for Noof. But
no, like I said, I'm a hardcore. I'm not affected at all. But I'm not defending me.
Well, my thing exactly. That's what I'm getting to. The hardcore isn't getting affected yet. The hardcore are the one throwing their arms, up in the air when it doesn't affect them. Like, all right, I sure hope to see when shit hits the fan in the real world with a real problem that, people that aren't affected by something in the real world, I don't know, taxes or something, something that actually means something to humanity. I hope to see the same damn people throw their arms up in the air about something that. Yeah.
Titan, they just want attention. There's a difference between actually, talking sense and actually trying to represent, a group of people that you actually feel concerned about when it deals with your passion.
Right.
Gaming is my passion, outside of what I do in my career and everything else. And so the point
Luca, you gotta explain what I'm saying. Not like you gotta say what am I saying wrong? Am I not saying facts? I know I don't. All right, maybe I don't articulate as well as I think I do, or maybe people just don't like the fact that I try to see everything from everyone's angle, and I see this guy's point of view. I also see the corporate point of view. I see Noof's point of view, and when I try and put it all together, maybe I don't do that as well. But let me know maybe how I could do that better. Go ahead, Mag.
No. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was just trying to say that.
No, go ahead.
The whole point is that I'm trying to bring to light a certain group of people that, just like you said, are getting fucked over by this. And that's my problem with this whole situation. And the other problem is, it's not 100% my problem. That's 50% my problem. The other 50% is with, I was talking about just before you jumped on the air, is that I have a problem with the fact that you're basically pushing people away. Not everybody, but you're pushing people away from the ecosystem when you should be bringing them in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is actually the bigger problem. And most people who think on a shallow level think, that doesn't affect me. Well, that fucking does affect you, because if you don't get those people in there into the ecosystem paying customers into the Xbox ecosystem, you will not get those bangers.
No, you're definitely right about that.
Not if you're Elder Scrolls 7.
If you're a mom going in to buy a console, you're getting one of the three or whatever, and you see the Xbox now, and they get rid of the gold period because they're trying to phase it out. Essentially, is what they will and definitely trying to do here, right? And you're going to buy that kid that console. Now, all of a sudden, you can't play online unless you get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which, like I said, is great value, and the hardcore understand this. But if you don't understand it and you don't know exactly what you're getting, can you justify jumping in and spending that $12 or $15 a month for that kid to have it when all he's going to fucking play is Fortnite?
Right. And see, the thing is, like, when you mentioned the hardcore, a lot of hardcore people out there are talking shit today, all day, by the way. And I get it. But the thing is, though, Microsoft has slipped up very little since December of 2019. Okay, very little. The Halo thing, okay, we all know what happened there. But guess what they did? They delayed it a year and a half, and I would imagine they're going to release an incredibly better product than what we saw in July, right? But besides that, they've been doing everything positive. They've been doing a lot of positive moves, good moves. So you know what the haters do? The haters have been sitting there starved for months and months and months going, oh my God, Xbox, will you please? Like, they're sitting at the edge of the bed like an 8-year-old kid going, dear Lord, Xbox, can you please fuck up tomorrow so that I can have something to do? It's like an alcoholic who hasn't drank in a month. Like, what's going to happen when you unleash that guy into a bar? Like, he's going to fucking go to town. It's the same thing. So all of a sudden they're sitting there going, Xbox, please fuck up tomorrow. Please fuck up tomorrow. And they haven't. They're like, oh, by the way, we bought ZeniMax. And they unzip their pants and pull out a 14-inch cock. Right? And then you're going, oh my God, they just keep doing good shit. And then all of a sudden this happens. And then when this happens, all of a sudden it turns into a 300-pound person sitting at a Vegas buffet. And they just went, Oh shit, it's game time. And now they're just jumping. They're piling on the bunny. Okay, they're piling on the bunny. Everybody's piling on because they've been waiting for this fucking moment for Xbox to fuck up. And they did. And the only reason why I'm criticizing Microsoft for, like I said, for more than two reasons is the one, you allowed it to happen. You're a $1 trillion company. You should have all angles covered, and you didn't. You let somebody blindside you. You got the sucker punch right in the fucking mouth. Okay, and it's your own goddamn fault. That's the way I see it.
I want to throw a couple more angles, and I want to talk about a couple more angles on this. Okay, the first one is to me, there must be a very large number of gamers only subscribed to Gold, kind of like just for them to do this, right? Because it's just out of left field. They didn't talk about it. Nothing was mentioned about this. Just boom, here you go. And then they're all of a sudden like, oh, well, hey, you know, every once in a while we look at our books and we look at the market and, you know, and the prices of things and this and that. And it's time for a price hike. You know, it's just kind of out of left field. And I think it's just taken everyone by storm. You know, maybe if they would have somehow given gamers a warning, or I don't know, but that's one thing I want to talk about is if you guys think how large of a number of games are just subscribed to Gold that they want to kind of move over. And another thing is this, I got to wonder how many of these casuals, right, that this is even affecting, that don't know about Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. Maybe this is, you know, that sounds like a reach, I'm sure, right? But how many of those casuals just are just fine with just sitting there on Gold and don't even know about Game?
There's 90 million, Titan.
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier in the show. Actually, this show just kind of showed up. But there were 90 million people on Xbox Live Gold.
That's insane. Yeah, they're definitely trying to move those over.
Right. That's between PC and that's between Xbox, the two ecosystems, right? So now you got 90 million people. You've got, from what I've last heard as of this week, you're talking about 20 million on Game Pass. That's 70. What we were, Noof and I were talking about earlier. That's 70 million people who just subscribe to Gold and not Game Pass. The tactics involved are strong arming or attempting to strong arm these people in a Game Pass. This is not the way you do it. Anyway, so that's the answer to your question. There's 70 million in the lurch, so to speak.
This is what they come in here. This is crazy. The guys want to know. Yeah, I'm always in standby. I'm the one to say this. I mean, I haven't seen anything this much on the internet since we saw the meme of Bernie Sanders in the chair with his crazy mitts. It's been crazy out there. What is going on? Microsoft just, you know, they're trying to build an audience, and then all of a sudden, the same time you get up the pervert role and you're sitting there getting all happy, and they smack you upside the face and like, we're going to charge you even more now. Like, come on, we haven't even got the whole full entree, and now we're going to get the wireless thing again. I don't know what they're doing. I swear to God, Mag must have said it right. I think they went and hired Don Matrick to put him in the background somewhere. He's back to pushing the pencils, and he's got the numbers, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, that's going to work. Throw it at the Xbox crowd. They take anything. They will take whatever you throw at them. It's crazy. I can't explain it, but anyway, I just wanted to pop in for a second. You guys are freaking amazing. I can't believe you got Mag and Titan here tonight. It's just like Gaming After Dark on Tuesday, but it's on a Friday. It's win-win.
That's right. A couple more things I would talk about. Tom Warren had that funny tweet saying, you know, Microsoft has the best deal in gaming, you know, and now they've got the worst as well, right? So, you know, after the riots stop, you know, the gaming riots, after seeing all this pushback, do you guys think that they might kind of revert this in any kind of way?
Well, see, that's the thing that I asked that question earlier, and I'm going to ask you the same question, Titan. You're going to have to at this point, because we're not talking backlash from fans and like fanboys and this and that. And I see some people in the chat, you know, saying this is an overreaction. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, you know, it actually has some merit to it. But when you got big shots like Jeff Grubb, and you've got Mike Ibarra, who used to be an executive, sitting right next to the big boys at the table, He's talking shit. You got, Randall Thor. You got Colt Eastwood. All these other guys are talking and shredding them apart. Windows Central shredding them apart. They're going to have to backpedal on this. So my question to you is, how do you backpedal on this in a meaningful and I don't know, like, how do you do it?
This one needs a video game version of the Heimlich maneuver. You need to choke that motherfucker out.
Yeah. So how do you reverse this without looking like a jackass?
I honestly do not see them doing it. I've seen a dealer's video today. I don't know if you guys saw that yet.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But he talked a little bit about it. And he said, that they kind of need to, just drop the gold paywall and just drop it completely.
Right. So is that the backpedal we're looking for?
Well, that would at least, it would.
But how embarrassing would that be?
It would just exactly, yeah. It would take away an option, and Microsoft has been all about options, and now they've made this option essentially meaningless, right? Like, why not just remove it? Are they trying to rip off those millions of fans that just like have the recurring old, gold subscription that like don't pay attention to their credit card or their money or what? Like, I don't know. It's really weird, but I do think this is being blown a little bit out of proportion.
Of course.
But no, I do not see them backing down on this.
Well, they can't at this point because you've just announced it. Right. And now can you imagine to be like, oh, by the way, we raised the price of Xbox Live Gold. And you're like, oh my God. And everybody's freaking the fuck out and people having impromptu podcasts like this one and everything else. But and then all of a sudden they're going, tomorrow they're just like, just kidding. It's free, bitches. Like, that's fucking embarrassing. Like, at that point, that's where you start losing faith in the leadership, right? That's where you start going, oh my God, guys, come on.
Well, what about this? Yeah. What about if this was their way around not raising the price of Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass itself?
They are going to raise the price of Game Pass Ultimate because
maybe this was their way of
games. Yeah,
maybe this was their way around that. Right?
No, I can't see that.
No,
I can't see that. I mean,
as soon as you all put on your Game Pass jackets and you got all nice and cozy, you're like, yeah, Game Pass is great. There's another $5 increase, son. Get back in your hole.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, by the way, you got a super chat from the doctor that showed up here.
Yeah, the doctor is in the house and she's drugging us up with $5 super chat at Noof Nukem favorite Duke Nukem game. Probably be Duke Nukem 3D. That Forever game was a little bit off. At Titan Drago and Mag favorite swearing in a movie or game.
Favorite swearing in a movie or game?
Yeah, go for it, Titan.
Man, I don't know. I liked a lot of the swearing in Cyberpunk. That was just off the top of my head. I can't think of too far back beyond that. But yeah, Cyberpunk's got a lot of it.
I was saying it did overkill for me. The dude that was in that reminded me of Samuel L. Jackson while saying motherfucker all the time. Like the whole game, he's going, motherfucker. Oh my God, that game was hilarious.
It's good.
Ah, man. For me, favorite swearing in a movie. God damn it. I don't know. There's so much, man. I mean, I would think of Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop. That was always a good one. I mean, he always had something funny to say.
What about
you're not no fucking RoboCop? I don't know. That was not bad, but
what about Scent of a Woman? I'm in the dark, Charlie. And he would always cuss, wouldn't he? I liked his voice in that, man.
Good old Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question, though. Good super chat, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, man. Doctor.
There's motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
I've never seen that movie.
It's actually pretty good. There's a part where a snake bites a guy's dick.
Dude, everything that Samuel Jackson says is funny. That fucking guy delivers everything funny. Jesus.
Actually, and a snake bites a woman's nipples off too. It's actually the same scene where they're fucking in the bathroom in the plane, and a snake. Oh, spoiler alert! In case anybody hasn't seen it, fucking snake comes down, bites her nipples off, and then literally bites the guy's dick, and the guy's flailing around, and you can actually see his shaft, and he's going, "It's on my dick! It's on my dick!" And like he's clearly got a rubber snake on his cock. And he's flailing it around, and it bites his dick off. So
everybody that's in the chat's like, "What's that movie? I'm gonna watch it now."
Oh yeah,
The Colonel should die. What's up, brother? and plop 67.59.
Speaking of, did you see that tweet today that he's really pushing for the return of Mace Windu?
Nice.
Well,
cool.
True.
There might be more to that
today.
than he's actually not pushing for anything. I think it's actually more of a hint.
Ah.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, you did know that no Jedi had died from falling, right? And
well,
even the Emperor
he
didn't
got
die
his
from
hand
falling.
cut off, which Luke did, and Luke lived, and then he fucking fell out of a window.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And actually, if you watch earlier in the second movie, in episode 2, he's actually on the balcony of a fucking stadium, and then Jango Fett shoots him with some fucking fire, and then he jumps like 25 fucking stories off the balcony, and he lands in the arena, no problem. So you're telling me Mace Windu fucking just jumped out of a window or fell out of a window after fucking Palpatine, shot him with his electric jizz? And then like he flew out the fucking window and all of a sudden he's dead? I don't think so, man. The guy's like a fucking cat. You could throw him off the roof, he'll land on his feet. Apparently.
All Jedi should be, right?
Yeah. By the way, I want to try that with my cat, but my wife won't let me. Yeah. He's just a kitten. But I'm like, can I throw him off the roof? And she's like, no!
So, Noof, what do you think about this, man? Do you think there's any way they pull back on this? And do you think,
I think it's set in stone. I think they just hope this blows over and people kind of forget about it and that people just, kind of inadvertently just sign up and go about it. Status quo. So old farts like me, it ain't happening. I'm going to beat this one with a stick until it fucking dies. Or I die, one of the two.
What killed Noof Nukem?
I killed Nukem. Yep, right there. Fucking price increase on gold. Like I said, I'm cool with. Look, I said I'm always cool. I get it, games will go up, prices of services go up. I've always paid for gold because it's always been a premium service with good online, pretty good security, party chat, being able to play games with your friends, stuff. The whole free games with gold stuff, that shit never bothered me. I could care less about they could get rid of that tomorrow and I wouldn't cry a tear. But for me, it's just, you pay for gold, and again, you're always paying for a service. People in this world, they want everything for free. I don't mind paying money for a good service, but there comes a limit. And when it comes to gold, I've said before, I have no intention of getting Game Pass. So I feel like you said, Titan, I'm getting double shafted here, especially with the way that I buy my subscription, because I buy it with the card and put the codes in. So if that either disappears or goes up exponentially in price, then boy, that's going to ding. And I just can't justify paying, going from $70, say Canadian, to perhaps 140 or 50 just to play online gaming. That's asinine. That's astronomical. If that's what I'm faced with, I'm out. As simple as that. And if you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you soon. But
you've made some pretty bold claims in the past. Like I remember the Call of Duty one, and you stuck to your guns, so I believe you. But it's just it's a shame to it's just a shame to me because the price is gonna go up. The industry, what if PlayStation does the same thing, Noof?
Then I'll get rid of them too. I have no connection to any console if they're gonna fuck me over as a consumer. Like I tell them how I want to do my games. They don't tell me how it's gonna be. I pay with my money, So if I'm just one of those archaic people that just behind the times, then so what? I'll be behind the times. I got other means of entertainment. I don't necessarily have to have video games. Fuck, I'll just go back to Nintendo. They'll stick with their $20 and I'll have fucking Mario games the rest of my life. But it is what it is, man. Like, I don't know. I'm speaking out my ass right now. Who the fuck knows? But go back to Dreamcast as Iceman. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. Like,
go back to
again, it's all about options. They got to stop taking away options, and most importantly, it's just about the way they do business. It's not about growing up in prices. We get it. Stuff goes up. Like I said, Netflix has gone up several times the last few years, but you have to go up reflectively. You can't just slap your consumer with like, oh, it's going to double just because. It's not because, like if you're going to double it, you've got to justify the doubling. And basically what they're doing is, well, we'll justify it for you. We're going to give you a choice. You're going to pay through the nose and basically get nothing with games with gold or Xbox Live Gold, or you're going to pay the same price and move over to Game Pass Ultimate, which is great because we have another number that we pad our little boardroom meetings with, and you're part of that group now. And eventually, well, that's going to go up, and then you're locked into this monthly subscription crap. And like I said, that's where I'm not a key. I'm not a fan of the subscription models. I got enough of them already, and I got more than I want, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to cut back, not add more. So that's where I stand. Again, it's not about money. It comes down to principle. My personal way I look at the gaming thing, what I want from my gaming console. I was fine with the 360 model the way things went. I never asked them to change it. I don't know who started doing that. I know why shit happens the way it's going. I fucking know why. People might call me up, but you know why Microsoft is doing all this shit to begin with? Start at the moment they stopped releasing console numbers. They couldn't compete with PlayStation in sales, so they fucking stopped doing the number thing because it was embarrassing. So now they still can't compete in sales, so they decide we're going to go a subscription model, because if we can't beat them on the console numbers, we're going to try to beat them in a subscription service. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it makes them more money. But it's something that like they gloat about in a different way. It's fucking weird. I know it's just weird, but like right now they're just making me very, very untrusting. I guess that's a great word. Right now I'm starting to be skeptical instead of optimistic, because I don't like where it's heading. I've called it out before. Lucas heard me on podcast before, calling this out long before this shit ever happened. I said, you watch, writing's on the wall. I know how these companies fucking operate. They bait you in easy. They give you the free pass in. They get you excited. And the moment that everybody's all comfy and kicking their feet up and going, yeah, Xbox is great, boom, we're going to nail you with it. That's what they do, and I'm just not a fan of that shit.
Well, hold on a second. I just want to actually counterpoint that for a second. Noof, you're 100% right, and I agree with you. However, at the same time, I think that what they're trying to do is trying to move towards the future is engagement, as opposed to, let's say, console sales numbers, game sales numbers, that kind of thing, right? Because everything is moving towards engagement. And we see that. I mean, we see that with Disney Plus. We see that. Like, look at Disney Plus now. 70 million people. They've barely been out 14 months, right? 70 million. So it's all about engagement now, because now they're going to get the constant money as opposed to, the one-time purchase of a game or that kind of thing. You're going to get that consistent thing, like a gym membership, right? They're working on that, that same kind of thing. You get the guy who goes to the gym, he pays for the year, shows up 3 months, but he's still paying for the 12 months, right? So they're going to get that constant revenue flow. And I see that that's the way of the future. The way of the future is digital engagement. Now, I'm not saying that I understand it. I'm part of it, unfortunately, because I subscribe to Disney Plus, Netflix. I subscribe to Amazon Prime, and as well as Game Pass. ×2, by the way, because, as I was saying earlier with my son, because there's 3 of us in the house who are now using it, so I had to subscribe twice. But anyways, I get it. But it's all about engagement now, and that's the way it's going to move in the future. In the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to find that NPDs will be gone. That's going to be a thing of the past. So, Microsoft, they are a company that likes to think ahead. They move ahead. You remember in 2013 when they were talking about all the stuff with the Xbox and everything else, and the DRM and all this other shit, whatever, and everybody was cursing them out. And the what's it called? The Kinect. It's fucking listening to you. It's spying on you. And all this other bullshit. But at the same time, guess what? It's 2021. Everybody's got a fucking Alexa in their house. Everybody's talking to their fucking Google. Everybody's talking to this. Their cell phones are fucking tracking everything that you're doing, right? So everything they said in 2013 is actually happening right now. So that's my counterpoint. You know what I'm saying? So everything they said in 2013 that everybody was cursing about is happening right now, and everybody has fully accepted it. So what they're doing right now, I could see that in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be the norm. So no one's going to complain about it at that point. But the problem with them is that they don't do it fucking nicely. They don't fucking put a pillow down before they drop you. They just drop you. Like, what the fuck? It's like dumping a girl. It's like,
I got
put the
bruises,
pillow
bro.
down before you fucking drop her down, man. Like, fucking let it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
let her
talked
down gently. Don't fucking just be like, by the way, this is what we're doing. Fuck you. Arr. That's the Apple move, once again, as I'm cursing out Apple. That's what they do. They just fucking like, yeah. It's like no more charging fucking docks. Fuck you, App. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like the way TVs evolved very slowly. Like it was just little bit by little bit by little bit. The next thing you know, like I said, we got these digital TVs now. Everything's built in. You know how that kind of went?
Yeah.
You know, you had the
Exactly.
dial buttons and the fucking rabbit ears. Next thing you know, it advanced a little bit, you know, and next thing you get the push buttons, and you're like, oh, I don't have to turn the dial, it's a push button. Then you get the remote control, and you're, oh, I don't have to get off the couch, you know, and it kind of was that evolution, but it was kind of done in a quiet fucking way.
Exactly. And see, the thing is, yes, they are very forward thinking because, I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, Microsoft's a $1 trillion company and they see the trends moving forward. They see what's going on, and they're basically going to pave the way for what we're actually going to be absorbing for our entertainment in the future. Let's face it. You could say whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But you know what? At the end of the day, they fucking call the shots, not us. I mean, we could, but you know, at the end of the day, we can't not stop what they're doing because they're the ones calling the shots. They're the ones telling us what's going to happen. But the problem is they push too far forward in a way that's almost abrasive. And that's where it rubs people the wrong way. And what we're doing right now is, again, I'm going to harken back to it, is that what's happening right now is exactly what happened in 2013. Everybody was bitching about Xbox. They're doing it right now again as Xbox is trying to move something else forward. They're trying to move that engagement into Game Pass forward, but they're trying to strong arm people. And that's where I think it's rubbing people the wrong way.
I think just dropping gold would have been the way to go. And like, you know, all right, if you had gold, you're gonna be grandfathered into this new system or something, and then you know, percentage over time increase, right? It's gonna go up 10% every year or something like that. That would ease them in instead of just boom dropping it. You got this you know, double the price of gold thing. Yeah, it's just, you know, they're ripping the Band-Aid off real quick. It's, you know, some people like that and some people don't, right? But it's, you know, it's a shock. That's what it is.
Even a tiered system. Say like they could do something like a tiered system where it's called Xbox Game Pass, like say Lite. So basically what you do is it's basically your gold, but it ups an extra $5 or $10. And what you do is you at least get a sampling of Game Pass where perhaps you get the first party titles free. They're all in there. Right. And then maybe you get a sampling of a certain amount of games. So maybe you get to pick, you know, you get 50 games or something to pick from, and you pick out a certain amount that you can actually like that you want to play or use and get them there too. Like something even like that, different tiers where you don't feel like you're getting completely slapped into it. You're kind of, okay, I'm really enjoying this. I'm liking this. Maybe I'll up to the ultimate now if I'm finding it's working out for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the biggest issue with this. The biggest issue is them getting rid of the 1 year renewal. That has actually turned into a big problem because that effectively doubles the price, right? And that I didn't even realize that until today, right? Because I've just been, you know, in my own little, you know, happy Game Pass world. You know, I didn't have to deal with this, but yeah, remember when they got rid of the 12 months and we're like, well, maybe, you know, down the road they're just going to get rid of it completely. Well, now we're seeing that this was their plan,
right?
You know,
I said that about an hour before you showed up, Titan.
Did you?
Yes, exactly what you're just saying. You just touched my very soul. You just basically said exactly what I was saying.
Wow.
It was basically the exact same thing. It says that when they announced that they were removing the 12-month renewal, we're like, yes, there it is. Everybody raised their hands. They lit candles. They're ready to go because they're like, oh my God, they're getting rid of Xbox Live Gold. They're slowly edging it out, or they're slowly phasing it out. But wow, did they fucking like 180 the shit out of us and like sucker punch us right in the balls. And it was just like, oh my God, no, that wasn't their fucking plan. You know, and that's where it has people in a tizzy.
Well, you talked about engagement, right? And they're moving more toward engagement, but this move is counterproductive towards that, which is weird. You know, the biggest thing to me is Xbox has been the place for options in recent history, right? And this is definitely out of character by them, right? now I'm going to say this again. I don't think this is a big deal as a lot of people are making it out to be. I will forever think that, because it doesn't affect me whatsoever, right?
Yeah, me neither.
But there is people that it does affect. I think we're going to have to say that a few times over, just in case someone walks in. And
that's why I'm here doing this podcast. Like I said, I had to get it off my chest tonight. I wanted to just jump in quickly. It was intended to be a 20-minute or 30-minute spiel, and I kept going.
You're not getting away with that.
But yeah, it's all good. We had a great, we got a great crew here tonight, and I can see things from a lot of sides. I'm trying not to be completely oblivious to the business side of things either. I mean, they got a business to run. They can't keep on giving stuff, and then obviously, like again, it's you got to make money. You got to make money. You got to spend money to make money, and then you got to make money to make it viable. I mean, obviously, when Phil came down to basically being a savior for Xbox, he had to walk in some pretty big shoes of Satya Nadella and had to convince Satya. I mean, obviously, Xbox was a platform worth saving, but he had to do it in a way that obviously is, yes, it definitely bucks the whole grain that Matrick had set before him. And obviously, like I said, the services and engagement, you definitely know by the actions of Microsoft, the big aspect as well as they've been looking at the mobile market, which is huge. In order to crack markets that they're not normally in, and they're never going to be in, like Japan and China, and a lot of these places where Xbox continues to struggle no matter what they do, they need to get into the mobile market because that's where they can gain some ground. It's where they definitely can make a lot of money, a lot of untapped potential. You got millions of people walking around with a cell phone. There's millions of gamers out there. Some of them never touch a console. They're just strictly on their phone. So you can get that Game Pass on a phone, and you can start streaming some of these things. It's going to be huge for Xbox. I think that's the golden goose ultimately for Game Pass Ultimate as well, is to get into that xCloud and get that functioning really well. Even for people that don't give a shit about it, that's a massive revenue stream for this company, and they know it, and that's why they're playing their cards the way they are too. So I definitely get it from a lot of standpoints, and they're spending a massive amount on tech to keep bringing us bigger, better games. The stuff does not come cheap. You can't get multi-million-dollar companies and games to go in your service if you can't spend the money to keep them there and keep content coming. And that's a huge thing. We see it at Netflix. In order for Netflix to be viable, they've got to keep the content coming, which is why they went out and started making so many movies. And they're going out and getting A-list actors to star in movies. And they're getting some really good TV shows. I don't care for 90% of it, but I understand why they do it, because now with Disney starting up and Amazon starting up, the competition is stiff. And they got to, and Xbox will have its own competition in the Game Pass field. They're not the only ones out there right now that are just doing this. PlayStation Plus is coming along. Of course, you got Google Stadia. You got Amazon doing stuff. So there's a lot of different people. Even Apple's looking at it. So they're trying to make this Game Pass as viable and as attractive as they can. They not only have to work on getting subscribers, but the biggest thing is retaining them and trying to make you invest in their product and not someone else.
All right, so I got another thing to say. It's like someone tried to be sly and failed, right? Like someone up in them corporate headquarters was like, "Hey guys, I got this plan that's gonna double our gold profits, and we don't even have to say it." So he's like, so they lay out this plan. We're gonna knock off the 1-year subscription first. We're gonna wait about 6 months so they forget about that, and then we're gonna just send out an update and say, "Oh, well, we're charging $1 more a month," right? So that doesn't seem bad. And then it's like, and then we'll add this grandfather system. And so like this, looking at this is actually a pretty well laid out plan. If you're trying to think of it from the guy that created this, right? And it does not look like it worked. It's
see, that's another thing. And it actually is a decent corporate plan.
Yeah,
but whose plate did it cross? And then they okayed it.
I was gonna ask that too, man. Me and you are like eye to eye tonight.
Who the fuck okayed it? See, that's the problem that I have. The problem that I have is that everything that Noof just said in the last 3-4 minutes there, makes 100% sense. But the problem is this: it is public perception is the biggest problem. And the thing is, if you portray, whether it comes from the hardcore or whether it comes from the casual. And this public perception right now is coming from the hardcore community. Okay, which only makes up, let's face it, guys, let's face it, is only about 25% of the gaming community. Okay, 75% of the gaming community are not listening to us right now. They don't give a fuck what we're saying. They don't even know what we're talking about. They have no clue. They don't even know what Game Pass is, for Christ's sake. Half of them probably don't even know what Xbox Live Gold even means, right? But 25% of those people do know. They are here right now. They're here in this chat. They're here on this panel. They're here in other fucking podcasts all over YouTube and Spotify and everywhere else. But here's the thing. When you spread that news from the hardcore to the casual, it makes its way to the casuals.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the problem. And that is the fundamental issue that I have with this entire situation, is that you have to nip it at the bud. Okay? You have to stop it before it becomes a fucking disease. And that's something that Xbox has failed to do for 8 years, is that every time that, you know, some situation, whatever the hell situation it is, the hardcore can almost at sometimes manipulate the casual market. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that, like, you know, Sony has big names, like Spider-Man. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. My grandmother knows who Spider-Man is, for Christ's sake. Right? Everybody knows who Spider-Man is.
With him.
Yeah. Right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
down there.
I know. So Spider-Man is there. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. So when Sony releases a Spider-Man game, everybody knows who Spider-Man is, and they'll buy that game because it's a marketable name. They understand it, whatever. But the point is this: when we're talking about some of this, when negative press comes out and the hardcore community start talking about it, well, that spills into the casual community, because then what ends up happening is the hardcore work at the GameStops. The hardcore work at the EB Games. The hardcore are on podcasts and everywhere else, and on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram and all these other places. So when a casual comes around and goes, so what should I buy? Well, then all of a sudden, you know, one of the hardcore who's had all these negative things to say about Xbox go, well, just buy a fucking PS5. And they're like, all right. They don't care. The casual doesn't give a shit. They just want to know what to buy. They want to know what's their best value. They want to, and I understand that Game Pass actually is technically digital, on a digital level, the best fucking value. But if there's a lot of negative press around Xbox, then the problem is that you're pushing people away from the fucking ecosystem. And that's the issue that I have, is that they've done, like I said, up to this point, they've done everything right. And then it almost feels like every once in a while, they have to remind everybody why they're not the fucking market leader.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Tony Baloney said it earlier on his video. You got Halo Infinite coming up. What was supposedly the free online multiplayer?
Right, free to play multiplayer. Right, and you know what, Noof? I know I was making jokes, and I know I was trying to be funny and this and that.
But it was true.
But at the same time, I'm 100% fucking true. Okay, that's 100% true. It's 100% factual. The fact, okay, as it stands right now, if they keep this model, then the free to play Halo multiplayer, okay, Halo Infinite multiplayer is not fucking free at all. It's $120 US. That's fucking not free. I'm sorry. How is that free to play if you got to pay $120 US? And fuck Canadian? You want to translate? That's like $160, $170 Canadian a year to play fucking Halo Infinite free multiplayer. I'm sorry. That's not free. Last time I checked. Right? Yeah. So what's the advantage there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand on like iOS and Android, okay, and PC, but you're catering those markets. What about all the people that own a fucking Xbox? There's fucking tens of millions of people that own Xboxes, okay, and then they're gonna have to pay to play Halo Infinite free multiplayer that everybody else is playing for real for free. That's not. Like this, you see what I'm saying? It's mixed messaging once again. Like they literally, it's like falling off. Okay, let's say you're going down the hill on your bicycle. Okay, a bicycle, not a motorcycle, a bicycle, and you press the front brakes. What happens? You fucking fly off the front handlebars and you land on your face. Okay. That's what happens when you press the front brakes when you're going down the hill. Imagine making that mistake over and over and over again without learning. That's what I'm getting at.
So to close this out for me,
yes,
it's a shame it's a shame to me personally, because it's a shame that people, to me, it's a shame that people take something like this and blow it out of proportion. Because let's not forget, let's look at the bright side of things. We still have the best deal in gaming, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like Xbox is like, hey, wake up, Noof, and take this deal. All right. But things like this, it's a shame, because things like this can really screw a good thing up, like what we have with Game Pass. We right now we've got corporate big shots. Hear these podcasts and things, RDX, things like that, and I imagine they're probably getting pretty fed up right now, and like either whether it be Phil or someone else, like they're gonna feel betrayed by the fan base. Because they've given us this great deal. Like let's not take all the work that they did for granted, right? Did they make a misstep? Yes, but there's I think there's so much more of a healthy way maybe we can go about this, right? Like like RDX or something, getting someone up there that's had something to do with this on a podcast, right? And let them explain this. Like, this is something that could be done before this move is made. Maybe, like I'm saying, like these things that are rocking Xbox right now, these rip the bandage off things, they gotta be eased into. And like Mag
says, who signs off on it? Like, were they sitting there thinking, all of our old games or like our Xbox Live Gold subscribers are just gonna love this new this fiasco? Like, they were like, but it's not enough of them to really give a fuck. It's like, what? Like I just like to know the reasoning. How did they come to that? Because you got to know this was going to get some backlash.
Well, part of my things is like, someone put this plan together and they were like, all right, maybe they'll buy this. Maybe they'll maybe it'll go over on them. But maybe they're going to find out that gamers are a little smarter than they thought they were. Right? Like gamers, like we catch everything. They catch, the only thing that gamers did not catch was the Xbox Series S in Phil's background on that interview.
Yeah,
everything else we've caught.
Or the Indiana Jones idols when fucking what's his name was having the podcast with what the fuck is his name there? Damn it, I forgot his name. Anyways,
we're not gonna let that. We're
Todd Howard. Sorry, Todd Howard was doing a
Todd
podcast.
Howard's hair now. Okay, so we even
Todd
got
Howard
that
had a podcast, and behind him he had all the Indiana Jones idols. This was like literally 2 months before they announced the Indiana Jones game. He was on what the fuck is his name? The guy with the white hair with the white gloves.
Larry
Herb. There you go. Yeah. He was on the Larry Herb podcast and he was doing the thing. It was Todd Howard there, and Phil Spencer showed up for a few minutes. Anyways, when Todd Howard's talking, behind him he had all the Indiana Jones fucking idols sitting on a shelf, just like how Phil had the Series S.
They ain't gonna be able to get away with that for long.
Oh well, yeah,
that's out the window.
Yeah. Oh well.
Wicked. Alrighty, well, I mean, we're pretty much almost at a 2-hour point on this podcast. I think we've said everything I can. Certainly, I've said everything I need to say. Whether I'm right, I'm wrong, I'm somewhere in between. I hope that each of you guys, especially the people who came out in the chat, first of all, love you guys to pieces. The fact that we had, I think, almost 60 at some point watching on an impromptu podcast out of the fucking blue just blows my mind. That is amazing. Thank you. Some new people in the chat. Dizzy Delta, what's up, man? Thank you. The list goes on. Brian Buccelli, Axel 1324 is here, Ice Cold, Lord Roughness, what's going on? We're just speaking our mind. I mean, it's obviously concerning. It's not about the rights, the wrongs, or too. It's just the whole industry trends a bit concerning. Like Mag kind of alluded to too. It's just the timing is pretty terrible right now. This is not what you want to be doing in the middle of a pandemic when you're launching a new console and you're having a hard enough time even getting Series X's in people's hands. You should be concentrating right now on one thing: getting your fucking games out and onto the console to play, because the drought has been so long. They need to get that going first and then worry about the rest of the shit when things are good. You know, you don't try to build an audience and slap them in the face before you even get the show going. So I think that's part of it. I mean, I'm the anomaly. I get that. Titan's not wrong when he says that. People are not wrong to say, if you're a little archaic. I get that too. At some point, like I said, I either got to get with the times or you got to hit the road and go the other direction, which I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. But
I hope you get with the times, Noof. I like having you around. I like gaming with you.
So, but anyway, there's other game consoles out there too. So I just got to weigh out what option works best for me. Normally, I like to say they all work great for me, but at some point it might not. But that's about it. I'll let these guys get out of here. We'll be back in our normal regular time slot Tuesday night. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you check it out. It should be a really good show this week. We got a couple of guests coming out with us. Juno's 23. You guys might have remember him from a few months back. He was on I think he was on our show even before Mag might have became a panel member. And we also got Slow Mo Backslap. So we got two charismatic dudes come to join us on Tuesday. Good shit, guys. Glad to be here. Again, thank you guys for coming out, and I'll let these guys get out of here by letting you know where you can catch those guys and follow them. Appreciate Titan jumping in here. He had no idea this was going on. Well, neither guy did. Like I said, it was just out of the blue.
We decided to saw the bat signal. I'm like, what is this? Like, why is he sending me a StreamYard? I'm like, what day is today?
Mag jumped in and said I can jump in, and and instead of starting a new chat, I just put the link over in the last one that we had, and said and I didn't expect you to show up, but I was like, if you do, great. But he jumped and said, I can come in. There you go.
That was really funny. I saw that text too from Titan. Like, we're already like 30 minutes into the show. And then all of a sudden Titan just texts and goes, what is this?
I'm like, what day is today?
We're just fucking here, man. Yeah. But I got it. You know what? I gotta give it to my wife. Okay. Well, I'll give it to her later. But anyways, I gotta give it to my wife, Chef Trouble there. She was like looking at me. I'm watching this fucking both of us were listening to the podcast, and it was just Noof by himself. And she just turns her head and just goes, get on the fucking mic. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And so that's what I just said. I'm like, Noof, tag me in. And so yeah, here we are. But
my wife is threatening to watch a show that we're supposed to watch together.
Oh my God, that's terrible. That sounds awful. Yeah, look at this. 2 hours. We've been here 2 hours. Anyways, guys, what a fucking great time. Anyways, I'm going to sign off, boys, if you don't mind. So,
hell yeah.
Anyways, boys. Yeah, sorry, Noob. Go ahead, buddy.
I got a question for the chat. I'm going to be doing a game giveaway, possibly on our next podcast on Tuesday night. So anybody in the chat, is there any games out do you think I should put up for a game giveaway? Physical copy of your choice, either for the PlayStation or Xbox. I was thinking about a Cyberpunk, but I don't know. The way people have been going on that, I don't know if anybody even wants that game. So anybody drop a couple of names that maybe a game you'd like to win in the chat if you don't have it already. And it will be a physical copy. That's the way I roll. I will send you an actual disc copy of it. So there.
Joe Dunmore having none of that. Get it, Joe.
Joe Dunmore. Yeah, Joe Dunmore got a physical copy of Yakuza Like a Dragon from me, of course. Nice. Yeah.
So hey, maybe to get some of you frauds playing Smite, maybe I'll gift you some Smite gems or something.
We got a couple of Hitman 3s in
there. It's free to play. Noof doesn't have to send out anything. He can send out a pile of trash, and it'll actually be the same thing. Anyways, in all seriousness, yeah, I don't know. We'll see a lot of people are talking about Hitman 3. Yeah, actually, funny enough, I've actually had a bunch of guys in the community actually been hitting me up on DMs and saying that Hitman 3 is fucking phenomenal. Yeah,
interesting. I didn't care for the last couple, so it's definitely not a game.
No, you know what? Like, I can't do it, man. Like, I love, like, you know, sneaking around and all this other kind of stuff, and like, you know, covert ops games and this and that, whatever, and stealth games and everything else. But that game takes it to another level where you actually have to enjoy that genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to a whole different level where you like, you know, like you're in the middle of a fashion show and then you have to like fucking like go to the dressing room and then like change into the guy's clothing and then actually do the fashion show. And then like, you know, stick a syringe in the guy when you walk by him. Like, not really my thing. So.
Oh, Joe said, "What is the smut game you're talking about?" Oh, speaking of that,
smut.
Speaking
Exactly
of
right.
that, we started a game and there was this dude, and you can VGS and the characters say things, and it was like she was like making these sounded just like sex sounds, man. And like it was so hilarious, man. I never heard it before either, so that's pretty rare for something new to come by me like that with Smite. So yeah, she was like, "Oh." We turned it into a whole big thing, a whole big smut thing.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. By the way, some people asking about Resident Evil Village. I actually played the demo. I played it on the PS5, and I can say, I could speak on behalf of all of us. You got nothing to worry about. The game is fucking phenomenal. So I'm just gonna put it out there. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry, some people in the chat were asking about it. So
cool, man. I think
should have just hit the button right there, man. Should have just ended it right there.
Yeah, I played the demo. It's about 30 minutes long, not even, barely about 30 minutes, and it's considered not a demo. It's called an experience. So I played the experience, and it's amazing. So if anybody has any doubts about Resident Evil 8, if you love Resident Evil 7, you're gonna fucking love this one. So just putting it out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
All right. Everybody do their outros, Titan.
Yeah, man. No, nothing formal necessary. Let's go get the heck out of here. I got some Smite to play, man.
Get out of here, guys.
Everybody knows where I am.
On Tuesday, I'll keep you posted. And don't forget about Community Game Night tomorrow night. We are doing Destiny 2 on the Xbox, and we're going to be doing Star Wars Battlefront 1 following that. So make sure that you jump in the party, get your games updated and loaded up, and let's have a good time tomorrow night, guys. It'll be a fun time. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys there, maybe even a panel member. Who knows? But I'll definitely be there. Catch you guys later.
Good night.